Keeler Show today.
Why do we always listen?
Keeler's always in the know.
It makes me want to call him
And tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, good morning. It's Thursday. And I got to say, the Peterson for the Mets, oh boy. I mean, you win the night before by scoring all these runs. 8-1, I think, was the final the night before. Or 8-0. And, perfect defense, offense all over the place. And you come back. And Peterson, your veteran starter, who's then the weak link so far, just comes in and stinks it up. It just is, Manaski, it's unbelievable.
It is. I do want to mention on the game before the 8-0 victory, I just want to say the game-winning hit, the game-deciding hit, of course, came from our all-star Juan Soto. With the Mets ahead 7-0 in the sixth inning, he added a solo shot, and that was a big hit in the game.
There is the problem. It's Soto is getting hits. His batting average is actually pretty good. It's just clutch hitting. Big failure. Big failure.
I don't know. You mentioned, I don't know. I think something you said made me think you watched the game yesterday. And
I watched, when I turned it on, it was 10-1, and they made it 10-2. And I said, that seems to be a numeric calculation that, if translated, says, go the hell to bed.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah.
Good morning,
well,
Tim Reed.
10-4, message received.
Yeah, 10-4, we're here. Okay, can we start with, we got a bunch today, a lot to do today. And I'd like to start, if we could, with the military. Now, on our site, there's actually a video in the story that you can check out where it shows police video of part of the high-speed chase.
Yes.
And you see the military vehicle coming around the corner and skidding, and that's when all hell broke loose. Where did this happen? So the federal building is way down by the
federal building's the old post office from a million years ago.
Oh, that's going to help me. I
Yeah.
have no
The
idea
Alex
what that.
Perney building?
Yes.
Is that the federal building?
Okay,
so that's on the. Go ahead.
The Alex Perney building is further down by the.
It's next to the old OD.
Well, kind of
behind it.
It's behind and to the right. It's yeah.
So this
it is kind of behind it. Yeah, it's on the other end of the block.
So the current federal building, I've been there for things. I've been there. Well, that's where the naturalization was held.
Yes.
Really, Judge Heard.
Yes.
So it's believed that this military vehicle was the one that is sitting in the parking lot of the new marijuana weed manufacturing place that has taken over what used to be the Observer Dispatch.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know what?
Okay.
As someone happened to mention that.
Who would leave the keys in the car? That's the thing that kills me, Tim.
There are no keys in military vehicles.
Tim, we learned that earlier this morning. Military vehicle. Explain the reason.
Because if you're dependent upon keys, they're going to get lost. Someone's going to get shot with the keys in there or whatever it is. Guys are going to get trapped. So you've just got to have the ability to be able to turn the vehicle on at any time.
No keys.
No keys.
So
I actually drove a deuce and a half. It's what's called a deuce and a half truck.
Translate, please. What is that?
Deuce and a half?
Yeah, what is that?
2.5 ton.
Okay.
So I had to drive it when I was in Korea because I was in a checkpoint that was kind of dangerous that you had to get out of or whatever it is. So it's a big vehicle. And yeah, so this guy
I gotta
went,
tell you, first of all, he was driving it pretty quickly and taking some corners, which probably that vehicle doesn't take corners all that well.
he was all over the place.
Yeah. And the fact that it didn't have a key, that's what everyone yesterday was like, who would leave the keys in the car? Like, why would they leave the keys in the truck? Turns out there are no keys.
No.
I think, though, if I'm the pot people, I would have taken the battery out. Or at least unhooked the battery, when it's not being used as a form of some security. That would have helped.
So, and that's not, the vehicle comes that, I guess it doesn't matter, but there's no way to, what's the word I want to use?
Yeah, you could probably put some
retrofit
sort of
it, sure.
Yeah, you could put a thing on the.
But
if you're high, it's hard to remember where the keys are. So you just gotta start it right up.
I'm with Tim on this. Do you think they're going to be thinking about retrofitting this thing? I don't think so. And could you imagine? First of all, I would not get out of my car and leave my car anywhere today without locking it. Right. Anywhere. I'm kind of a nut like that, but apparently that wouldn't help you in this situation. So the guy takes off. And I'm trying to think of who was the old wilderness guy from the 80s. There was the TV show. Davey, you probably watch it right now on MeTV or something.
Not Marlon Perkins.
Jack Fredericks.
No. Okay,
American sportsman.
Two people that exist. For the guy with all the hair that lived
with
with
the
the
bear?
wildlife.
With the bear?
Yeah. What was his name?
Bozo the Clown.
Somebody will know. 315-736-0186. So he kind of looks like him.
Yeah,
or what was the movie about? Like was it like? I'm throwing these things out here. He looked to me.
It was Dan something.
He looked to me like the little kid that was dressed up like a little cave boy, or like a little Tarzan type kid.
Kurt Russell?
With all the hair really out. That's what this guy looked like. Not Kurt Russell. Grizzly Adams. There you go. Thank you, Tina, for that. Grizzly Adams.
He looked pretty grizzly.
A little like that. And then apparently he took a hard hit to the eye because the eye was bleeding pretty good.
No known address. And then two cops got hurt.
Yeah.
There was a lot of damage.
And that's a pretty... What's wrong?
My mic up?
Yes,
There we go.
Sorry. What do you want me to talk? You don't want me to... I must have hit it, Jeff. Listen, Jeff,
you
come
emergency
anywhere
note from Tony Baloney.
Anywhere near the this board and your finger gets close and all of a sudden it triggers something. Beware, you never know. And, now I've lost the board completely.
Oh, my goodness.
It just has gone black, Davey. It's almost as if
the man in black.
It went on cue. It's completely black now. Yeah.
Nice.
When Smitty says, "Oh no,"
I didn't hit
trouble.
anything.
You better get the lock cutters or whatever it is.
But I will tell you, the beauty of this is that I have no way. Was your mic working?
I think so.
Is your mic working?
Yes.
Do you have controls that you can control this?
No. What could I do anything up here? I could do stuff here.
You
I
could
guess.
do some stuff up there. So. It's just the mics will. Once the mics go off, I'll have no way of turning them back on. This is awesome. So we're just gonna keep.
This
talking.
is live radio.
Yeah.
At its best.
Literally, even when we don't want it to be, it's going to be live radio.
I'll tell you this: that we can remain live until the top of the hour when automation takes it over for Fox News. And let me just let people in on the thing here. This is awesome.
You should do it, and don't let me do it. Something I'm not supposed to say.
So we have a brand new system, which is wonderful at times. and our no longer do we have a physical control board, a mixer. No longer do we have that. Now it's all virtual and it's on a computer screen, and the controls that turn the microphones on and the microphones off, turn the mics up and down, allow me to play something off the computer or to come back from a commercial break. All of that, it's completely dark. It's gone completely black. And
I wish I'd sold you guys this system.
And without it, I have zero ability to. And I'm trying to think if there's a workaround, but I can't get into any of this to restart the computer because they don't trust us. Everything is locked up in here. We have a clock that's down that allows us to see the exact digital time. That's down. We can't restart that because the remote to the TV is also locked up. Yeah, I mean, do they know that I could just start dropping the F-bomb over and over and over again, and they couldn't stop me until they shut off the mic, which they ultimately could do. But I mean, you give me a lot of there's a lot of trust here by allowing me to talk into this microphone, but no trust to be able to get in and maybe restart a computer or who knows what. Anyway,
speaking of old shows, you got to bring back MacGyver.
Yeah, yeah. I always thought of myself as a little bit of a MacGyver, I can't figure out how to do anything here. So, nonetheless, Davey, is there an on-off switch to the? I can't hear you. Turn your mic on. I can't turn it on. I have no controls here.
It's locked up in the thing. We can't do anything.
Okay, but this is a monitor. Does the monitor have like an on-off switch, like your monitor at home?
I don't know. This place. I just want to go home today. See ya. I quit.
This is awesome.
After 31 years in this place, I'm done. See you next week.
I don't know that I can take a phone call either, to be honest with you, because
oh my God.
Yeah, I can't take a phone call because I have no way to
Nice.
That's what I do when the power goes out. I become my wife's radio.
So Ed mentioned here this morning back on the military vehicle that I guess at this point it's an agreement, but he had sent a text message a few minutes ago saying they should have disabled or disconnected the hook to the battery.
That's what I said. I think that would have been a good fix for the time.
So you were in the process of saying those vehicles couldn't be retrofitted.
Oh no, they probably could, but I mean, in the military they wouldn't allow that.
Yeah.
Right, but someone could retrofit. I'm sure.
I mean, you could hook something up.
You could go to an auto place.
It's like this great system.
And the beauty of that is that's an older vehicle.
Yeah.
Where if you go to an older mechanic, they'd be like, I could totally do this. Let me pull out one from an old Oldsmobile Delta 88, and I could put the whole thing in there.
You could probably
it'll dangle, or you could actually
hide. You could just hide an on-off switch.
Yeah.
And just have it hooked up to the
power.
Is that what it is? It's just like it's not a button. It's like a switch, like a light switch.
You have a button.
Oh, a button.
So
push a button, but you could hide a switch.
I used to have an uncle who had a vehicle, and he would put the two wires together, and the vehicle, and it would trigger the starter, and because they didn't have the key. I don't know what was going on there, but that's how they would start it, and so that would be certainly possible. What else is on the program today, if we can actually do it? I'm telling you, we will not be able to... Davey will be able to turn his mic on. Can you control my mics, Davey? No, just yours. So we'll all be sitting... In order to stay live today, we're all going to go into Davey's booth. And we'll be able to talk on his one microphone where the controls still work.
One at a time. And in fact, the three of us might do like the barbershop quartet.
Yeah.
We'll all be sharing a mic.
Oh. Yeah. Remember our conversation yesterday, Tim?
Yes. Yes. All is becoming clear.
Yes.
Follow the rules.
We might have Roseanne Leparco on today because it's that time. It's growing time. Ticks out there, something to be concerned about, which we never had to worry about ever before. And it's just they are multiplying so quickly, and they are diseased. And
Is that what it is? Are they like rabbits? They're just all over.
They're multiplying. I mean, we didn't think of it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
There was a tick problem, but it was nothing that outlandish. 25 years ago, you didn't even think about it.
No.
It's like, oh, you were bitten by a tick. Here's how you get it out. Everything will be just fine. But somewhere along the line, this disease came in, Lyme disease, and these ticks have just multiplied, and it's to the point where if you are bitten, and I was the other day, there was something that happened the other day, and I had blood going down my shin, and I'm looking at it and trying to figure it out, taking pictures. My mother's like, send me a picture. Send me a picture. I'll tell you if it's Lyme. I'll tell you if it was a tick.
Yeah.
So
Mommy,
I'm like, I'm trying to send a picture, but every time I take the cloth off the wound, more blood comes out, which doesn't seem to be
because I think it's kind of gives you like an anticoagulant.
Well, I was not I don't think I was bitten by a tick.
What
I don't think
was
it was a tick. I think maybe like a stick. Not a tick, but a stick. I think like I'm out doing yard work and something, and I think it caught me. I think I was caught.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of scabbed up. So a tick bite will not scab up because it wouldn't bleed.
Are you on blood thinners?
No. No. What do I look like? I'm 80?
I know. Well, I mean, I know you're not taking any pills.
I'm on
so
everything
I'm
else.
surprised.
You're right. That's a good point. I'm on everything else. There's got to be a hidden switch on this thing. There always is.
Well, I do see a cord.
You see a power cord?
Just a power cord.
There's got to be something that you unplug.
Because maybe you can do a power cord on it, unplug it, and plug it back in.
You know what, though?
Davey, did you put in a ticket? We should hear from them by 10.
Tomorrow.
Oh, boy.
That's awesome.
So, anyway, I don't think it was a tick thing, and it seems to be healing up quite nicely. So if it was, I don't see any bullseye stuff, per se. Also this morning, Mark Butler is in. They're doing, he has been worried about the water in the West Canada for years, and now he's the mayor of Newport, which is on the West Canada, and he thinks there's a real issue. They're going to be having a hearing. He's going to talk about that coming up. He'll be in later on this morning. We might do Hobica's free money question of the day this morning. That'll be fun. A Democratic candidate for the 118th. That is the current seat. That's the assembly seat that is currently held by Robert Smullen. Colleen Maxwell is on the radio in a little bit. Mayor John Stevens. There's a lot going on in Ilion right now. Mayor John Stevens on possible data center at Remington Arms and an update on re-election. And I think their elections are also coming up in June, village elections. John Decker, Chief White House correspondent, Great TV, from Great TV, is on a little bit later on as well.
Looking at the comments here on YouTube this morning.
Trying to find the
all
clock
positive.
here. I'm just going to look at my watch.
Grizzly Adams was a comment that came in. They
Grizzly
are
Adams.
all on weed.
Grizzly Adams. And who was the little kid that was? He was almost. I think he was raised by wolves or something. There was a series.
You sure this wasn't a movie?
Might have been a movie. Might have been. But he had hair all out too. That would be like he grew up and stole a military vehicle. It's kind of what it looked like. Allegedly, right? He's innocent until.
Dina Sinichar, a 19th century Indian feral child, is a prominent, well-documented case of boy raised by wolves.
Well, that's history.
Discovered in 1867. Okay, that's a little old.
That's history, and I'm talking about probably a TV series. Anyway, that whole thing went down. What else? How about what is going on in the jails, the prisons? Oh. This is not good. It seems like anarchy. And now the inmates are setting fires, which they that means your National Guardsmen and the corrections officers got to go in to try to put out the fires. You have, in some cases, they're being lured into to an ambush. And there were a total of 8 COs and 3 National Guardsmen who were sent to the hospital as a result of what went down there. So
I'm wondering, how long has the National Guard been present there?
Months.
I'm just wondering why
it's been a long time.
all of a sudden 3 separate inmates would be setting fires. And I'm wondering, A, is it some kind of a diversion, or B, did they have something? Were they expecting a search of the bunks or the dorm or the cells? And they said, look, we don't have any place to put this. We're going to have to, if we burn this, you burn the mattress also, so that they focus on the mattress. But whether it was drugs or some type of, what do they call it? The illegal stuff you can't have. My brain isn't working. Contraband. Thank you, contraband. Because why all of a sudden would they start burning mattresses? Is it in some kind of a protest? I just don't understand why it would happen 3 times in 1 hour. Something else seems to me was going on.
Nick says Tarzan. It was like if Tarzan had a little boy, it would have been that. And Roger says, Bill, you've never been to jail, so you don't know what it's like. Well, I have been to jail.
Like you should be ashamed of that or something.
I'm going to stand with pride and tell you I have. It is not easy. We were in a holding cell with probably 15 other football fans, I think most of them from New York, because the Cobb County, Georgia police, Cobb County is where the jail was. Infamous jail, by the way.
Yeah.
And, you are in there with like 15, 16 other people. And when you got to go, there's a toilet over in the corner, and you just in front of everybody. Stainless steel, no seat. Just in front of everybody.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that was a fun night. A long time ago. Let's see. What else do we want to do?
Well, I'll just mention.
We could take a break. I just don't think I can come back if I take a break. What happens if I touch it?
I don't know what you said yesterday, but I was not here, but that didn't keep me from getting multiple text messages. You were on Trump about something, and I even see on YouTube here this morning, this is what I was going to mention.
Well, this ridiculous rhetoric that Comey was inciting people to kill Donald Trump with that seashell message is just moronic. It's stupid. And what was the other one? They indicted, and they're trying to get Jimmy Kimmel fired, which is another stupid thing. It was a joke about his age, and that was told before the thing. I would agree that if Jimmy Kimmel told a joke about President Trump being killed on Monday after an attempted assassination, that would be a problem. But in this case, he was talking about Melania sitting there looking at some point, because she's like anybody else. You're 30 and your husband is about to be 80. Well, you're thinking at some point the empire will be yours if your paperwork is correct, set up the way you want it.
Yeah, I think I agree on that. Just because you don't find it funny or entertaining doesn't mean that it's not covered by freedom of speech.
And this Brandon Carr, who's the chairman of the FCC, is just going and making his political attacks on anything that he doesn't agree with, and claims that it's the FCC regulations. We're just running it the way it should be run. Which is also ridiculous.
Now, the FCC would have
a bunch
some
of BS.
input into decency, but again, I think it's clear that was an attempted joke that he told. By the way, you mentioned 30 and 80. Do you know how old Melania actually is? I think she looks great for her age.
Well, she's much younger than him, but she's not that young.
Yeah, I think she's 56.
Yeah,
Barron,
that makes sense.
Barron's in college.
Right. Yeah. She's at least got to be old enough to bear Barron. Right?
So, and then what was the other? I guess I maybe I should drop it and let it go, and we can move on to something else. But was there another topic too?
Why?
said?
You want to take a commercial break and then we'll
No.
be going home?
Yeah, well, we could do that too.
It might be 7 o'clock. It could very well be 7. And people will be like, well, just broadcast on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, we can't because there's no microphone once
Yeah.
the mic is off.
This is all hooked up through the system here.
You know, getting back to these comedians.
Hold on just a second. Davey, I know you can talk to us. Sorry to interrupt. Davey, my wife said I should apologize when I
Bill,
heard.
I've done through all the channels from what I can do.
Okay, did you put in a ticket?
Yes, I did. I
Okay.
even reached up to the 3 higher people that above us, and I haven't got no response from nobody.
The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Have you called Binghamton?
I've been in contact with Binghamton.
Okay, all right.
They're the ones that told me to put the ticket in, which I did.
Put in a ticket, and it'll be fixed immediately. All right, we'll put in a ticket.
And I even went under one other step to another contact.
Under a step. You've
Over
gone
a step.
over and
Over a
under?
step.
Okay.
I'm getting no response.
Okay, all right.
Oh, it's all right.
Tim Reed.
So I just think
Hang on a second. I think I got something going here.
Okay, all right. All right.
good.
Well, you can talk to him. He just turned his
So-
mic off.
I just think, from a comedic standpoint, of all the things that we can laugh at and make jokes at, I think political jokes are just it's a cheap laugh. You know, I
Yeah.
think, you know, if you look at, and I'm not trying to sound like some old boomer, as I'm going to
Yes.
sound like an old boomer.
Yes.
But, you know, Johnny Carson, you never knew what his political allegiance
Right.
were.
He told
And-
jokes about everybody.
And I think, you know, you just sit there and that's all you lead with. You're automatically alienating half the population right from the giddy up.
but the and I get it because this
And
is
I mean, listen,
this is the
I don't
argument
even
that
stay up late enough to be able to watch any
this
of
is
this
the
stuff.
argument that Senator Griffo had on the air, and my response to that is, yeah, back when Carson was there, that was it was different because there was only Carson,
Right.
But now we have branched off into niche formats. So, and we're a world right now. We're a country where you tune into kind of what you want to hear and something that you feel is like-minded.
Right.
And especially like once you get to those national programs.
Right.
So today you're like when Jimmy Fallon tells a joke about Democrats, everybody loves it. It's the funniest thing in the world. But there'll be a Democrat sitting in the room that'll be pissed off about it.
Well-
And the same thing, and Jimmy is probably not the best example, but even go back to Rush Limbaugh. I mean, it was 3 hours of bashing Democrats and doing song parodies about them and
Right.
doing this. That's where
Oh, it's the
all of
same
this
thing.
whole thing began. And so for that audience, he would lose his audience if all of a sudden he came out and he said, you know what? I've had a discovery. I'm now MAGA.
Right.
I've gone in completely and I've seen the light. And his entire audience would be gone. And I don't think he'd be able to accomplish a conservative audience because that's already left that boat's left the
Station.
station.
Well, you know, and I think,
Train.
The dock.
and I think,
Doc.
I guess probably thinking
Doc,
about
that boat's left the station.
thinking about ratings really probably are different today.
They
where you
are.
think about, okay, he's got a 2.5 or whatever, but you probably should add in how many YouTube hits they've had and all the other things that are happening in social media, which would
Some people don't
inflate the numbers.
don't even watch the late night shows. They only get them in Instagram
I know
or
people
TikTok
like
feeds.
I know people like that.
Or YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can tell you everything that happened. Like, you stay up that late? No, it's all in my feed the next morning.
Right.
So that's where we are today, and you can't. Here's the problem: you can't say no more of that, and that's inappropriate when the other side does the same exact thing. And that's there's your nation today. We are in our corners. And we're listening or watching what makes us, what supports our beliefs, and
It's just a big echo chamber.
the biggest, the top show, at least on broadcast and cable TV, is Gutfeld.
I know.
And that's certainly not making fun of Donald Trump.
Nope.
So that's where we are today. And really, Rush Limbaugh was the first to kind of do this.
But, you know,
He
let me
made
tell-
it happen.
He made it, and
Yeah.
he probably saved AM radio.
I think he did. Yeah. I think he did. Now, unfortunately, with all the new equipment, there's no chance of saving it. I think
That's
we're
what's going to
screwed.
kill AM radio.
We are screwed. If you're just tuning in, good morning. I am. We have the most new, beautiful equipment, and unfortunately,
It's
now
the best.
I'm
Some
looking
people
at
say the best equipment
some people have
Some
said it's
people
better than
say-
anything ever.
ever.
I'm looking at a black screen. What do you know, Davey? Black screen, and I can't control anything.
The person got back to me. They are dealing with another situation at another market, and they will get back to me as soon as they get done.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
901.
That's funny. Well, our countdown. Make sure it's 9 minutes. In 9 minutes, we will have the mic shut off, and we will be done. So just,
I guess I'll get this in quickly. Some comments here. Lance and Lee.
and I don't care. I'll go home and go back to bed. I have no problem with that.
Lance says the prisons are falling apart daily. It's so bad now. The cooks are working in the visiting room. Those positions have always been correctional officer posts. So that's a comment about the fires there. And then we've got some comments on YouTube, which I think are good. Bill, you've never been to jail. Okay, we already covered that one. Jungle Book was the boy raised by wolves.
I think that was it. I think that might have been it.
Mowgli was his name.
The guy looked like him, but grown up, and according to authorities, whether you believe it or not, maybe under the influence.
It says, so if an FBI agent poses next to 187 Biden in the sand, would that be okay or not a big deal?
Listen, I've stated my belief on this. It's stupid
I
and
agree.
ridiculous.
I agree.
And it's not even worth debating. So the fact is, Trump has actually made the same jokes about his own marriage. And there are cases, I saw 2 yesterday, where there were Republicans doing the exact same thing on Joe Biden. So back 7 years ago or 4 years ago, how long has it been? Boy, time just seems to fly.
I know. They always talk about it's 10 years of Trump. He's been there since, I'm
Whoa.
like, 10
Remember,
years?
we've
What?
had-
Oh, my goodness.
We've had Trump and then Joe Biden and now Trump. So this has been an interesting decade.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it was inappropriate, but
ridiculous. And even
that it was some call to action.
And
is-
remember, it came at a time where you've got Trump going after Comey, saying these things about. I mean, and for God's sakes, what wusses you are if you are all I'm all upset because there's a Democrat out there that's saying something nasty about a Republican or Donald Trump. This guy, Donald Trump, has said the worst of the worst about everybody. But in all of it, it's like somebody walking up to someone, punching him in the face. They punch him back, and they're like, he just punched me. Well, yeah, he returned fire, moron. I'm sorry. Please, spare me the weak response in these cases. It just is. And I'm not saying I thought any of it was funny, or I don't even watch Kimmel, but please stop being a baby. Stop being babies and get out there and get your vote out in the midterms. That's all this is about. This is trying to take every opportunity to defy history and hope that the party in control will win in November and keep their majority. And you know what? I'm not saying they're not going to. Maybe they will.
God forbid we want to do anything that actually moves the country into a better place.
Right.
We just got to.
Hawkeye says, firing Kimmel, indicting Comey again, it's all about justice except when it comes to releasing those Epstein files.
Well, I will tell you, it almost does. It's hard to not look at this and say, because every day there's another crazy story that gets everybody riled up. And every day there's one of those stories. We're not talking about where release all the files. And Trump said on 60 Minutes, I'm not a pedophile. I wasn't involved in any of this. Although there are plenty of pictures and emails that say that it wasn't like he wasn't involved. But as for being with little girls, there's no evidence, or little boys. There's no evidence of that at all when it comes to Trump. But there are a lot of people being protected that are, I think we'd be really shocked at certain names, and maybe we won't even know the names.
Yeah.
But when we find out who they are and the power that they have and the money they have, we're like, that's why. How many administrations prior to Trump have not just gone 100% full bore on this thing? I think this is bigger than just Trump. It is probably the greatest cover up in government history.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Let's hope so. Let's hope there's one now that's not worse than this.
Let's hope not, because this is pretty bad. Grooming these young girls and then basically, I mean, some of them have committed suicide. It's pretty bad.
Ann says there should never be comments about any president being killed. Now, I just want to note, good morning, Ann. There's a
86
difference
does
between
not mean
being killed and dying. There's a
Ann, come
difference
on.
between being killed and dying.
That is not what Comey said. Stop being a robot and just listening to what is said to you and repeating it like sheep. Think about it. Think about it if it was someone that you supported, or if it was Gutfeld that did this. Think about it. Would you be like, 86 is not saying he's going to be killed? That's not what he meant by that. I mean, come on.
Well,
I mean, there are things you can.
No, I think
there are things you can fight about.
She's responding to the Kimmel thing, right?
Well, the Kimmel thing, even that.
Well, again, that's why I say there's a difference
That
between
is
being
a-
killed and dying.
The Kimmel thing was, that wasn't saying he should be killed. I mean, I got to tell you, if everybody's going to die, and at some point, I mean, if you look at where Trump was in 2016, the vibrant Donald Trump, and you look at him today, he complained about Joe Biden as being Sleepy Joe. Well, I got to tell you, Trump's eyes are half closed, and oftentimes they close completely during press conferences. So what do you call that? I mean, you know what I call it? Okay, Davey's going to try
Davey's
to fix
working.
it. No, isn't it time to get somebody a little younger than Joe Biden, a little younger than Donald Trump? I mean, isn't there anyone out there that's young and smart and maybe it's J.D. Vance? Maybe he's the guy.
It's a funny world we're in, because when I was growing up, it was a big deal in regards to when JFK came in and said, you know,
He was young.
He's kind of young.
Yeah.
Can we trust him? He's kind of. Now we're in the place where, geez, he's kind of old.
Yeah, and I think Obama was younger than JFK, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just by a little bit.
Yeah.
So
We all age out at some point in time.
Yeah, it's time for maybe the next generation to take over. And look at the Senate. I mean, they're all half dead.
Yeah. They hang on.
They're hanging on. They're hanging on. And, you know, we don't want to let it go, because God forbid if we do, then maybe a Democrat would get in, or maybe a Republican would get in, and we'd lose the seat. So you just hang on. Please stay alive. Stay alive. Whatever you do, stay alive.
Don't give up the power.
Yeah.
You want more? We got about a minute left.
All right. And by the way, I don't know what happens on the other side. We'll see.
What do you mean? After you die,
On the
or
other
when
side.
you-
So we'll do news at the top of the hour,
and then
and then I'm going to predict what is going to happen. A news bed will trigger after Fox News, and I would put you in on Davey's mic, but we'll have no way to control the volume, so the bed would be overpowering your voice. So chances are we'll listen to the entire news bed until that ends, and I think the weather will kick in automatically. Maybe no. All right, that might be the end of it. You actually could control all of that right over here, Dave, because this you could control it from here. You can do it in there too. No, you can't. Well, then you can come in here and control what happens. You could. I think the best bet is, I'm thinking right now, you could put in a best of segment so that we don't have dead air. You can control that from in here.
Is there?
Yeah, you can.
There's not a second screen I could pull up from here.
I think you can from over here.
WIBX Utica Road, W295
From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Iran remains defiant. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Its new supreme leader, believed injured in the U.S.-Israeli attacks that also killed the old leader, his father, just posted on X, a new chapter is dawning in the Strait of Hormuz. Mustafa Khamenei also wrote that America's military campaign and aggression is a shameful failure, adding Iran will protect its nuclear and missile capabilities. But President Trump insists.
At this moment, there will never be a deal unless they agree that there will be no nuclear weapons.
President Trump has opted to extend the U.S. blockade on Iranian ports, calling the blockade, quote, genius and foolproof in crippling Iran's economy. But the president is also warning Iran that he is weighing another wave of military strikes, warning them to, quote, get smart soon.
Fox's Brian Yanis in Tel Aviv. And with shipping still affected in the Strait, oil prices have surged this week. Gas has been pumped up 8 more cents today. AAA's national average for regular $4.30 a gallon. A week ago, that price was $4.03. It's back to court today for the suspect in the White House Correspondents' Dinner attack. Vice President Vance is praising Secret Service for stopping the man, telling Fox's Will Kane show.
I just feel very grateful to them and very grateful for what they do, and frankly, grateful to God that agent who was shot was not seriously hurt. It could have been a lot worse.
But House Oversight Committee lawmakers had more questions yesterday for the Secret Service director in private, with concerns about overall security at that hotel Saturday night. Late last night, the House approved the process that Republicans are using to fund immigration enforcement to get around Democrats who've held up funding demanding ICE reforms.
It's a 215 to 211 vote with no Democrats voting yes on a Senate resolution to fund immigration and border enforcement for the next 3 years. The vote's not on the funding itself. It allows congressional committees to start drafting legislation for it that could then be passed through the budget reconciliation process with no support needed from Democrats.
That's Fox's Chris Foster. America's listening to Fox News.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250 micro to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
As oil and gas prices surge this week, stock futures are mixed before the last day of trading in what's been a positive month, the day after the Federal Reserve decided not to cut interest rates again.
The central bank is leaving its benchmark funds rate unchanged at a rate between 3.5% to 3.75%, where it has been since December. Fed Chair Jerome Powell.
The FOMC decided to leave our policy rate unchanged. We see the current stance of monetary policy as appropriate to promote progress toward our maximum employment and 2% inflation goals.
The decision drew dissents from 4 out of 12 Fed officials, the most at a policy meeting since 1992. Powell did say he will stay on the Fed's board after his term as chair ends in May for an undetermined period of time. Hillary Barsky, Fox News.
The Senate committee has advanced Powell's replacement, putting Kevin Warsh closer to being confirmed as the next Fed chair. As for Powell not leaving the board, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is not happy, telling Fox Business.
The last time that a Fed chair stayed on the board, it was at the request of the president. This is a violation of all Federal Reserve norms.
In the NBA playoffs, Detroit and Houston stay alive.
Pistons beat the Magic 116-109 to get within 3 games to 2. Game 6 will be in Orlando tomorrow night, another must-win for the Pistons. Second game in a row, the Rockets faced elimination versus the Lakers. Second game in a row, Houston beat Los Angeles 99-93 in L.A. last night. In Cleveland, the Cavaliers beat the Raptors 125-120 to go up 3 games to 2.
That's Fox's Jared Max. On the ice, overtime drama.
Shot from long range, score! The Flyers win it! Cam York!
His goal didn't just win the game for Philadelphia. It won the series for the Flyers, beating the Penguins 1-0, eliminating Pittsburgh on TNT. Vegas beat Utah in double overtime. The Knights go up 3 games to 2 on the Mammoth. Montreal won a 3-2 with a win over Tampa Bay. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
We have mostly cloudy skies, 44 degrees, and the board is working. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:05. This news update brought to you by Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. A Utica man facing several charges after a pursuit that left 2 police officers injured. Now, the incident began yesterday when 29-year-old Daniel Pacino Brazeau stole a military-style vehicle that was parked on Oriskany Street. The vehicle was later spotted on West Street, but Pacino Brazeau refused to pull over, triggering a chase that ended with a crash on Genesee Street. The 2 officers suffered non-life-threatening injuries while trying to stop him. They have already been released from the hospital. It'll be at least another few days before a new state budget is finally in place. Lawmakers approving an 8th budget extender yesterday that will keep the Empire State running through May 4th. Legislative leaders said earlier this week progress is being made toward an agreement on the budget, which had an original deadline of April 1st. No matter what happens, this would be the latest state budget under Governor Kathy Hochul. 11 people treated after inmates set multiple fires inside cells at Marcy Correctional Facility on Sunday afternoon. The fires happened within about an hour inside a single cell block at the medium security prison. The first call came in around 3:20 when officers spotted heavy black smoke inside one cell. A mattress and other items had been set on fire. An officer tried to put it out with an extinguisher, but crews had to switch to a hose to get it under control. Once the flames were out, staff opened a nearby recreation pen to clear the smoke and took the inmate to the infirmary. Then it happened again about 40 minutes later. In total, 8 correction officers were taken to Rome Health and Wynn hospitals for treatment of suspected smoke inhalation. 3 National Guardsmen were treated at the facility as well. A sergeant was also hurt during the response, suffering hip and back injuries, and was transported to the Wynn Hospital. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time, 7:08. Your Weather Center forecast is brought to you by CSEA. Behind every traffic cone is a worker doing a job with a family waiting at home. Slow down, put the phone down, and move over safely.
Unseasonably chilly weather continues to spill on in. Maybe a little frosty tomorrow morning, and maybe for the Adirondacks, a few snowflakes, especially later in the weekend. Enough. 52 today, maybe a few showers around through about early afternoon. Some clouds tonight on the cold side in the mid-30s. Some of us will be in the low 30s, especially in the North Country where it might be even a little bit colder. Friday, a chance of a shower, partly sunny, otherwise near 50, and not much above 50 over the weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy skies, 44 degrees at 7:08. In sports, boy, those Mets, 14-2 the final yesterday as they lose to the Nationals. David Peterson charged with the loss. He allowed 7 runs on 5 hits and 3 walks. The Mets have now dropped 4 out of 5. They look to win today's rubber match and take the series against Washington. The Yankees lost their series finale to the Rangers 3-0. Elmer Rodriguez took the loss, allowing 2 runs on 4 hits. The Yankees look to bounce back when they open a series against the Baltimore Orioles. A 4-game set starts tomorrow in the Bronx. NBA playoffs, the Knicks on the road for Game 6 tonight. A win would send them into the second round. They are in Atlanta to take on the Hawks. They currently have a 3-2 series lead. Other NBA action last night, the top seed in the East, Detroit, keeps its season alive. 116-109 over the Magic in the Motor City. The Cavaliers took a 3-2 series lead over the Raptors with a win last night. And the Houston Rockets forced a Game 6 against the Lakers, 99-93 the final. LA was up 3-0 in that series, which is now 3-2. More action tonight. The Celtics visit the Sixers. I mentioned Knicks Hawks, and the T-Wolves entertain the Denver Nuggets. NFL news. The Giants appear to be adding to their front 7. Big Blue expected to sign veteran defensive tackle Shelby Harris to a 1-year contract. The move comes after the Giants ship star Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals for the 10th overall pick in the NFL draft. Stanley Cup playoffs last night. The Canadiens beat the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-2. They now take a 3-2 series lead. Cam York scored in overtime to give the Flyers a 1-0 win over Pittsburgh, sending Philadelphia to the second round. The Vegas Golden Knights took down Utah 5-4 in double overtime Action continues with some Game 6s tonight. The Wild host Dallas, and the Anaheim Ducks will take on the Edmonton Oilers at home.
Some comments. I have Bernie and Utica. Bill, hey, Bill the idiot. This is getting really fun. Boy, I just love this job. Who was the youngest president? Yeah, Bernie. Ooh, you're all on fire, Bernie. I thought it was JFK, but I think Obama might have been younger than JFK. I don't remember, so I apparently am the idiot you claim I am, because I don't know, but well, I would guess.
So many opportunities to be an idiot.
I would guess Obama. I can tell you this, it wasn't Biden.
Was it one of the early ones? People didn't live that long back in the day.
And
Theodore Roosevelt.
Trump. How old was Roosevelt?
He assumed office at the age of 42.
Well, so I think Kennedy was 42 also.
Kennedy was inaugurated at the age of 43, according to this.
Okay. All right. How old was Obama?
Bill Clinton was Clinton was younger than Obama. It says Bill Clinton was 46.
Yeah.
Ulysses S. Grant was 46. Let's see. How old was Obama? Obama took office at what age? He was 47.
47. Wow. He actually looks younger. You can come in. Come on in. Yeah. Yeah, here's a young guy. Yeah. Bring him in. Bring him in. So Bernie,
Here comes Methuselah.
There you go. And then Ann said, "I'm talking about any president." And we understand that, but in America, you have the right to free speech. Can you imagine? I mean, it's about if somebody says, "I am going to kill so and so," I'm going to kill them. Well, it's pretty clear that was, and then you can find intent. Intent is very important. You then look to see, boy, he's got the guns. He's planning this. He's got his trip planned. Like this guy who went into the Correspondents' Dinner, totally can be charged with attempted murder, attempting to kill the president. But when Kimmel tells a joke, you meant this. No, I didn't mean that. This is what I meant. Imagine if we were held to the standard of Kimmel gets arrested or Comey gets arrested. If we were held to that standard, what would that do to our free speech rights? Every comedian in the country would have to be like explaining, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. Well, you said this, and that could mean that. So you're going to be arrested for attempted murder. It's ridiculous. Think about what it would do to you, what that would mean for your rights, what that would mean, not if you like the person or not, or if you like their comedy, don't watch it. Eventually, if you don't buy from the advertisers and you don't watch, like this program, it's easy. It's really simple. Just stop listening.
Look, we might be beating a dead horse here.
Eventually.
Don't say that.
Don't say dead horse. I'm sorry.
He's trying to kill horses.
Peter's going to get
horses.
you.
You mentioned Gutfeld earlier. I could picture Gutfeld sitting there and saying, "Oh, look, there's a photo of Jill Biden looking like an expectant widow."
Yeah.
To me, that's a funny joke.
Because Biden looked like he was half dead, and that wasn't even. That's what I thought the joke was. That it was like that Trump is looking older and sleepier, and that before long she's going to be a widow and she's going to own everything, maybe depending on the prenup. That's what I thought the joke was, but apparently, according to Kimmel, it wasn't that. So I'm just like, aren't there bigger things that we could be worrying about than using our resources to go after Comey?
You need a microphone, sir.
And sure, please. Aren't there bigger, more important things in the world going on right now?
But is it a good joke if you have to explain it? Every time I have to explain my jokes,
that's a good argument. Somebody had that argument.
Now, this guy's been featured in a few roasts.
Yeah.
He has. Unfortunately,
he's been on the receiving end of the gun, too.
He's been the target. Listen,
I don't take it personally.
The only reason Kimmel is explaining the joke is because they're calling for him to be fired. I've been in that position before, and I get it. If no one understands the joke, but I hate to say it, play back the tape. There were 400 people sitting in that room when Kimmel told the joke, and they were all laughing. So apparently, they got the joke. He's explaining it because they're trying to come in and fire him. So that argument isn't a good argument. I get it. I agree. trust me, every time we have a certain comedian on the air who I'm not going to say, and he's telling a joke, and I have to be like, well, what he means by this joke is, you know who I'm talking about. You don't? I'll remind you.
I do.
In
the parking lot, and I wondered if Gallagher had come back to live with you.
Sadly, he's gone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about
But
those
he was
days.
your guest for how many?
Gallagher came here to do a show for Toys for Tots, and he left at the end of February.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Yes. Yeah, if you could tilt a little more, there you go. There we are. Perfect. Mark Butler has made it in studio here. All right. Without going through fighting anymore, this is what happens when we don't have a moment to reset. We just keep going. Without all the fighting, can we move on? Davey, everything's running? Who's the engineer that hooked us up? I think we restarted this thing. We unplugged this, but then that's just the monitor. He had to restart the computer, which is locked up.
Yeah, Phil
locked
from our
up.
Buffalo.
We don't want
market.
anybody touching things. We don't want anybody touching
What is it,
anything.
a Trump impression?
Locked up.
Locked
It's
up.
very locked. Extremely locked.
Some say.
What did you mean by that?
It's never been. Touche. Let's move on. I got a break. Hold tight. We haven't played a commercial since 6:11. Oh, I guess
6:15, 20 after.
Oh boy.
Please go to break though.
Okay, we're gonna go to break.
Lock it up.
I like to see how this place runs when I'm not here next week.
Oh
boy.
It's only one day though, right?
After Thursday.
Okay. So that would be Friday. How many days is Friday?
It feels like a week.
Quick break. Hold tight at WIBX.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. Ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The U.S. Treasury just released its official financial report for 2025. Buried in it is a startling admission. By its own numbers, it appears the U.S. government is insolvent. When governments go this deep in debt, they print money, raise taxes, or cut benefits, none of which can help protect you. That's why people move part of their savings into physical gold and silver. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
The first Top Shelf Country Cruise promised big, and it delivered. Now the bar's set. If you were there, you know. If you weren't, it's time to get on board. Set sail aboard the Celebrity Summit in March 2027, where laid-back luxury meets country fun. We're talking toes in the sands of Bimini, fun in the sun in Key West and Cozumel, live band karaoke, trivia, bingo, and performances from Riley Green, Chris Young, Lauren Elena, Randy Hauser, and more. Lock in your cabin now at TopShelfCountryCruise.com.
Need a part for your mobile home? John's Mobile Home Parts in Oriskany Falls has everything. Furnaces, skirting, combo doors, anything, everything. John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories, Skyline Drive, Oriskany Falls. On Facebook or johnsmobilehomeparts.com.
Attention vendors, crafters, and collectors. Looking for the perfect place to sell your goods and reach thousands of eager shoppers? It's the world's largest yard sale, happening again this year at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds, June 20th. It's the ultimate selling opportunity. No more setting up signs, hoping for traffic, or dealing with no-shows. At the world's largest yard sale, thousands of shoppers come ready to buy. Whether you sell antiques, collectibles, handmade crafts, vintage clothing, or secondhand treasures, this is the place to be. But hurry, booth spaces are filling up fast. Secure yours today and get ready to turn your inventory into instant cash. It's the world's largest yard sale at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds, June 20th. Sell more, earn more. Reserve your spot now. For vendor info and booth reservations, visit the events page on this station's website. Don't wait. This event is too big to miss.
Hello, I'm Oneida County Executive Anthony Picenti. This year marks the 250th birthday of the United States, and we've assembled a special commission to help organize events across our community. In the months ahead, we'll highlight why this is such a historic time for our region. From the signing of the Declaration of Independence to the turning point of the Revolutionary War, the Battle of Oriskany. You'll learn about the people, events, and local impact that shaped our nation. Our goal is simple, to help you love the history where you live, right here in Oneida County.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
I gotta get your name right, Nick. Nick LaBombarda. Is that right? That's his real name. Nick is on YouTube saying, I thought it was JFK as well. I never knew that Theodore Roosevelt was the youngest president. You were talking about how he also was the victim of an assassination attempt and took the bullet. This is how it was back then, though. He took the bullet, finished the speech, and then they took him off stage to operate.
Yeah. See, Bill, this program is not only entertaining, it's educational.
Well, especially now that you and Tim are here. I mean, the fact that you guys
That is true.
The fact that you guys were there, I mean, that helps.
Nice.
Anyway, good morning.
Okay, so before we move on, can I squeeze two more in? Big Honey, we have forgotten Trump was shot once in the head and attempted to be shot at 2 more times. Everything needs to be put in context here.
Again, are we ready to say? It's like Hegseth yesterday was saying. You know, the problem is these Democrats keep talking negatively about the war. We need to. That's one of the biggest problems. He ought to just go back and read what it was like during Vietnam. And the fact that America is a free country. I hope we stay that way.
Matt in Holland Patton says, take a look and see what Dana White had to say when he was interviewed about the whole thing at the dinner, the correspondence dinner, of course. He makes himself look like a complete, I don't want to say it.
Well, Dana White, so you could say this is inappropriate. Dana White's like, I loved it. This was awesome.
All of us.
It was, I mean. So
he said it was bleeping awesome. I
gonna
literally took every minute of it in.
Do we go after him for that? I mean, this is not North Korea or Russia. They don't have the free speech rights that we have in Great Britain. I was on that program the other day, and they talked about how this is an interesting point that Ryan Nobles brought up yesterday. How that never there was no way that guy ever would have gotten as close as he got to Trump in Great Britain. That never would have happened. And the reason is what Ryan talked about yesterday. How many rights are we willing to give up? How many barriers and firewalls are we going to allow? You know, there was a time when you could walk right into the White House if you wanted to ask the president a question. Obviously, we can't do this like that anymore, but we're a democracy, a free society, and as I understand, sometimes we're at odds, Mark Butler. But you're a newspaper guy, and you were brought up based on freedom of press.
Correct.
I mean, how many rights are we willing to give up? A democracy is vulnerable, and maybe we reach the point where we can't have those freedoms because we can't keep the country secure. Maybe we get there. I hope not. But I wonder.
I think both sides have raised the temperature.
Yeah.
I'm very concerned about the direction this country.
Well, the division is so bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, it's just really, really. You really wonder about. I mean, if you're your age and you're thinking about leaving.
Where did all this come from?
I'm kidding.
Let me tell you a quick story. My grandson will only eat chicken nuggets, so we go just about every day for lunch at McDonald's. We're sitting at this table, and these 2 young boys, about 10 years old, they're running around, they're laughing, they're joking. They finally get a Coke and sit down at the table next to us, and there's a third Coke on there. And so I get up to put our meal away, and I said, "Is that Coke for me?" That's our cocoa, man. Get out of here.
Really?
Yeah.
Which McDonald's were you at?
On the Parkway.
Oh, that's unbelievable. What has happened to... There's no respect anymore.
Well,
Respect your elders.
I got even with him. I said, Coke will stunt your growth. You guys.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, meanwhile, you're a towering 6 what?
4.
6'4", yeah. And to be fair, I call him old Mark Butler, but you look at the two of us in a picture, and if they frame me properly, you're getting about Mark's chest. It's cutting off his head, his entire upper body. So
I prefer the term mature.
Mature. But there was a time where that wouldn't be tolerated. If a young kid spoke to an adult that way, the adult wouldn't allow it to happen. And then, when the adult gets done with the two kids, the parents would be like, and when they get home, I'm going to continue.
Yep.
I
don't think there were any parents on the scene.
I'm afraid.
You guys were running wild.
Those days are gone. All right, let me bring in, I'm trying to find my clock. Bring in Roseanne Leparco. Roseanne is a master gardener with Cornell Cooperative Extension. And unfortunately, Roseanne is having a very difficult time today. And I know that I want to just pass our condolences on to you, Roseanne.
Why is that?
Well, didn't you watch the game last night? I mean, come on.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Terrible.
I watched the Yankees because I wanted to see Brandon Nimmo, and he looks like he got hurt last night. From what I see, but
listen, the heart of this team is gone. The heart and soul of this team is gone, and he's a part of that.
Yeah, well, and you watch them, and they look totally disjointed, out of place. There's no synergy, and I have stress just looking at Soto. So all that money, and I don't know. I don't get it.
And Manansky, I go back to over the weekend, the first or second game of the doubleheader on Sunday. The Mets are down 3-1, bases loaded, bottom of the 8th. And Soto's at bat. I'm like, here's his opportunity. If there's ever a time, here's his hero moment. And he blooped the ball somewhere, and he was out, and he got some booze, and he looked around over his shoulder and snickered and laughed and just kept walking. I'm like, there's the money spent there.
Right, and it doesn't matter because they can boo him as much as he wants. He doesn't care. He's still going to get his paycheck. Yeah. So that really bothers me. In fact, I was contemplating wearing my Met jersey inside out.
Yeah.
So nobody can see who I am.
Sunday night we went to the Jim Brewer show.
Yeah.
At the Stanley, and there was a guy with a Mets shirt because Jim Brewer is a huge Mets fan, and he does podcasts and stuff about the Mets and all that. And and he's coming in, he actually was putting on his shirt out of the car to come in, so it was clearly wearing it for Jim Brewer to see, and it was a Mets logo, and simply in big block letters said "Sell the team." So, well, listen, as Mets fans,
all that money down the drain. But everybody they brought in is above almost 35. So what in the world do you expect? I don't know. Yeah. Can't do it.
What is
Can't
this
do it,
age
Bill.
thing today?
It's too painful.
It is
too painful.
It's like planting a plant and just watching it die.
Yep. Well, it's like putting out a vegetable tonight. And you won't have a vegetable come Sunday because you're going to have, I understand there's going to be frost freeze warnings for tomorrow and Saturday. So there's really nothing to say about gardening per se because you really can't plant yet, except it is cool season. You could do cool season crops like lettuce and peas.
Okay.
Still okay to do that, but everything else, it's still not time for gardening. I was talking to the extension, and I understand that I think ticks are probably a good subject to talk about.
Yeah, we've kind of gotten into because it seems like everybody knows somebody who's had. I know of two friends who both have Lyme disease and have had serious issues with it, and in both cases did not know they were even bitten. That's the problem. When you don't know.
Well, and you just explained my brother. My brother has been suffering from chronic Lyme for at least 20 years.
Oh, my God.
And most recently, he didn't feel good again, and it must have been a tick. He tested positive for a new disease that ticks carry. It's called babiosis, which is another autoimmune disorder. So the subject is very near and dear to me because of what my brother's gone through.
Yeah.
And he never knew that he had a tick. He did not get, they tell you to look for the rash.
Yeah.
He did not have the rash. So ticks it's a scary insect because of the disease they carry. And I think it's scarier because there's a misconception that they can die over the winter. They don't. They survive the winter. And as long as the temperatures are above 32 degrees, they are active. The other misconception people have is that they can fall out of trees or that they fly at you. They can't do either.
Right.
They don't fall. They crawl. So you're going to get them from, the ground up. And so one of the best things you could do to protect yourself is they can't climb on rubber. And so wearing rubber shoes, rubber boots, that type of material versus like a felt or a canvas type of a boot that they can attach themselves to, because they have to crawl on you to obviously bite you. Wearing long pants, light-colored clothing, long pants, try to tuck them in your boots. Don't worry about making a fashion statement when you're out walking. Long sleeves, and then always, because my brother does it all the time, do a tick check when you come in from the outdoors. And you don't have to be on a woodland trail to get a tick.
No,
you could be in your lawn and get a tick. So... doing that tick check, taking a shower after you've been active outside for a while, and then making sure you launder your clothes. The only thing that will kill ticks is hot water or a hot dryer for at least 30 minutes. So you can try laundering your clothes in hot water, doing the dryer.
So you're saying they could survive going through the wash?
Yes, they can. So they're very it's a scary insect because of their ability to survive.
Yeah.
Now, you don't, there's also the misconception, well, I don't have any deer in my yard, so I'm not going to have any ticks. Well, deer aren't the only animals that ticks get on. So try to create what I call a tick-free zone in your yard. Keep your kids, the swing sets, places where they play away from the edge of the property. Try to put their play sets on things like wood chips because ticks don't really like wood chips.
Right.
You could try sand as another alternative. And then try to keep the debris down because rodents like chipmunks and squirrels, field mice, they're the classic carriers of ticks. And so they like to hide in debris like, branches and leaves. Or if you've got things on the edge of your property, maybe a stone pile, they like to hide there. And so if you have a lot of rodents on your property, chances are you're going to have a tick.
You're going to have ticks.
Keep your grass mowed so that, you've got a low profile. And then you can use repellents. There's repellent clothing that if you're a outdoorsman, which is what my brother is. He's really into the outdoors. I'm sure that's how he got the tick. You could buy repellent-treated clothing. You follow the instructions with that clothing, or you buy repellents. And our CCE website right now, if you go to cceoneida.com, ticks is right in the header across the top. And if you click on that, there is all kinds of information, including a link to the EPA, which you can read about the different repellent ingredients. For example, DEET and permethrin are two of the best ingredients for repellents. There are some natural ones like eucalyptus oil. And, be an informed person before you buy a repellent. follow the instructions. When it gets warm outside and you want to use sunscreen and repellents, put your sunscreen on first and your repellent on second.
Well, this is we've reached a point where it's becoming difficult to. I mean, you think about it. As kids, we'd cover everybody up with leaves and jump in leaf piles and all that.
Absolutely.
And
Revenge of the ticks.
Yeah, this is brutal.
Well, and you have to see me when I garden. I look like I'm going to outer space because of why having watched my brother and the issues he went through. Because of course, Lyme disease wasn't in the mainstream 20 years ago.
Right.
So they didn't know what it was, and so he got tested for every serious disease on the planet. And so now, after I've seen what he goes through, gardening is not as much fun for me as it used to be because I got to put on my nuclear suit. I have my rubber pants, rubber boots, my rubber windbreaker. Heaven forbid it goes up into the 80s or 90s, I turn into a baked potato. So
right. Well, that's the other thing. I mean, think about in the summertime when you're out trying to do whatever you're doing. Chances are it's 85 degrees, and we're being told like dress up and I just can't tell you. Shorts and a t-shirt. I'm on the ground yanking out weeds, and I mean, man, those. That becomes a liability right now, and you're right. I know two people also that have Lyme disease, and it has been at times like ruins the day, debilitating. They can't do anything.
And my brother has finally accepted that he'll have Lyme disease for the rest of his life. There's nothing that cures it. So that's why it's really, really important. Like I did a little yard work yesterday. The minute I came in, all the clothes are off. Everything goes in the laundry. I immediately do a tick check. And that includes if you have pets or kids, you need to do the tick check of your kids and your pets when you're petting your dog, because I was at my brother's a couple weeks ago. He lives downstate where I consider the home where we first heard about ticks. He's in the Hudson Valley. The dog had 2 ticks on him. So you can bring the ticks inside, either on your outdoor equipment, your clothes. So do that immediate tick check. Go over your dog and feel for bumps.
Yeah. Okay.
And then look into the fur. And then if you have a tick on you, don't panic. The website has a beautiful page on how to remove a tick. You should always have a pair of sharp pointed tweezers in your house, and you want to grab that tick as close to the skin as you can, and with a real quick pull. Don't pull slowly. Don't do it sideways. Don't squeeze. Jerk straight out, and then wash the area with alcohol, soap and water. Wash your hands. But I encourage everybody, go to our website. All the links are there. Everything of what to look for, where the typical places, for example, where you can find a tick bite. For example, they crawl from the bottom, so the back of your knees is a hot spot. Your belly button, believe it or not, is a hot spot. Around the ears are a hot spot, and around the scalp and the hairline is a hot spot. So,
and don't forget the genitals. It's I'm serious. I've heard stories of people that, Mark.
And then if you do, after you remove the tick, if you feel feverish or you don't feel well,
call your doctor.
Contact your primary care doctor right away.
Yeah.
And now there are antibiotics that they can give you, but it's only as good as quick as you know.
You gotta go fast. Yeah, you gotta be fast.
Unfortunately, you don't know you have a tick. So those are my best precautions that I can give you. I said, our website.
I did not know that you had such a personal connection to Lyme disease, and that's just terrible, and I feel so bad for that. Mark, with a quickie.
I've got just a quick question. Bug spray, is that effective? And in preventing against, and is there one that you might recommend for people to use to protect themselves?
what you need to do is look at the ingredient on the front, all the active ingredients on a bug spray are on the front. And looking for DEET or permethrin are two ingredients that have proven to be the most effective as a repellent. It's not 100%. Unfortunately, I wish I had the magic answer that one ingredient was perfect, but it's not. But those are the two that have been found to be most effective at repelling ticks. And I would recommend it. And you look at the active ingredient. It doesn't matter what company it is. You look at the front.
There's an off. I think I got it at Sporting Goods store. Off Deep Woods, and when you spray it on you, and it does have the chemical, the DEET. But when you spray it on, it's oily, so it really sticks to you, and you got to shower afterwards. But I spray hard, and I hate to say I'm gonna start wearing long pants when I.
Do us all a favor.
Maybe I should.
Yeah.
Maybe I should. Maybe the neighbors would be more. They'd be happier. Maybe.
Well, I'm thinking when my neighbors look outside, they must think there's a woman from outer space.
Yeah.
Right there.
Well, listen.
I actually have my brother laughed at me, but I said, "Hey, this is what I do.
Yeah.
I have a big hat with a net that drops down, so I can't get the little flies to bite me either.
Yeah.
So I do. You end up, looking like you're from space, but don't not enjoy the outdoors. It's just do some smart things.
Yeah.
And I think the repellents, bug spray, and then doing a tick check immediately when you come in and taking your clothes and putting them in the laundry.
And you do want to get that DEET off you. So you really want to wash that off. Tim?
I use one, and I think maybe it does have that permethrin where you spray it on your clothes, and it actually holds for 6 or 7 different washings, so you don't have to reapply it.
Oh, okay.
After you do it, but you don't want to put it on your skin, which kind of makes me wonder how wonderful this must be for me.
Yeah, well,
I'm trading one for another.
I got to tell you, I have a pair of sneakers that I wear only outside because my wife's. And they have, it's like they're leather, or maybe it's not leather, whatever it is. But I spray this stuff on the shoes too, and it literally starts to melt the plastic on the shoes. So you're right. What in the hell is that doing to your skin?
Right. Well, you need to be, being a Cornell person, I have to say this. You want to read the product labels completely. It is the law. Some products are not authorized for use on clothing, and some products will not be used on the kids, for example.
Okay.
So you need to read the product labels carefully, especially if you're going to use repellents on your kids. For dogs and pets, you've got tick medication that, if they're prone to ticks. I used to have a dog. I would have him get the tick medication all the time. And so you got to be careful with the products. Read the label. Or my brother has purchased, if you go to an outdoors type of store, because he's a big hunter, fisher, you can buy the clothing that's already treated.
Okay.
And that helps, but you just need to take all the precautions. Ticks are here to stay. They're not going away. You need to be safe.
Okay, good stuff. Roseanne, we appreciate it. And go Mets.
I'll go somewhere. I don't know. I'm not sure where I want them to go. And, I still say, I always have that mantra that you got to support your team through the good times and the bad times, but all this money is really annoying me.
Well, I think as a Mets fan, we've reversed it. We support your team. You support your team through the bad times and the few good times that we get. That's kind of where we are.
Bad times if you're trying. Like a Brandon Nimmo would always try.
Yeah.
These guys, like a Soto with a smirk on his face and I struck out. It's just wrong. So I don't know, Bill.
All right. Maybe they all have Lyme disease. They probably do.
I missed you last week, by the way. I thought the voices sounded the same. So I thought it was you a couple weeks ago,
Yes.
I think. So I'm glad to see you back. And I had just real quick, I had wanted to know if your lemon tree was okay.
The lemon tree still has one big lemon on it, but it never lost all of its leaves this year. So
Okay.
once we get it outside, it just goes crazy. So
Yeah, don't take it outside
not
yet,
yet.
unfortunately.
No time for that now. So all right, we'll keep you updated on it. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're
All right.
welcome, Bill. Have a good day, you guys.
You do the same. Roseanne Leparco from the Cornell Cooperative Extension. All right. Mark Butler coming up with what he's working on. We'll do Habaika's free money question of the day. Davey, this morning it is worth a what?
$350.
$350. He is in a mood. And you're looking for caller. Let's do it right now. You're looking for caller what?
Sixth
caller right now. He is fired up. Sixth caller right now with 315-736-0186. Your chance at $350 right now. Caller 6 at WIBX.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will handle it for you. We handle residential or any size commercial property, before and after estate sale cleanouts or any junk removal service. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation is a 5-star rated and background checked business, providing service you can count on, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
We promised you a first-class country music cruise, and the first sailing of Top Shelf Country Cruise delivered. The bar's set, and nothing less will do. In March 2027, we're setting sail on the luxurious Celebrity Summit, departing from Tampa, stopping in Bimini, Key West, and Cozumel. See performances by headliner Riley Green, Chris Young, Lauren Elena, Randy Houser, and more. Your favorite country stars will be on board. Will you be? Book any available cabin at TopShelfCountryCruise.com.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Manaski with a related comment.
Okay, so John in Deerfield says you actually there's pre-treated clothing that is supposed to prevent ticks. But John in Deerfield says you actually cannot buy the pre-treated clothing in New York State anymore. A couple of years ago, the legislature outlawed purchasing clothing that is pre-treated with certain chemicals.
You know, our pediatrician when the kids were younger would say, yeah, these chemicals are not good for you. DEET and spraying stuff on your kids. But I'm to the conclusion now, and he had changed his opinion, where the threat of Lyme disease is worse, and there was also the mosquito issue, right? We had Nile, West Nile, and all these other things.
And Eastern equine encephalitis.
He said it's now to the point where these are dangerous enough where I think it's worth just make sure you wash them. They take a bath after they go outside, but it's probably, I mean, I just can't imagine. Think about your kids go out and they lay on the lawn, and it's like you have to be worried about that now, but it seems like you do. And then Donna asked, could you treat your lawn with a chemical?
Yes.
There are plenty out there that will kill ticks, and crazy. Just the whole thing is nuts.
Well, that raises the question, though. First of all,
now you're always going to be subjected to those chemicals once you start spraying your lawn.
If you're spraying the lawn, I mean, and then let's say you walk across the lawn barefoot. Now those chemicals, essentially are on your skin and get into your, and it makes me wonder how long it lasts for.
Yeah.
Right? Is it just like I'm going to have a party on Sunday, so Friday I'm going to spray the lawn? Does that mean in a month from now that it's still effective?
Well, and let's not forget the leukemia that I have, they say came from some sort of a pesticide that I probably was spraying on my lawn.
Not to mention, that's why I'm still in shock that
we can't win. We're all screwed. This is brutal.
You can hear on the radio or see on television a commercial for join this class action lawsuit against the makers of Roundup. Right. And then the next commercial says, have you gotten Roundup for this spring planting season? It's like, wait a minute.
Let me bring in Jeff and Marcy, ready to take a shot at Hobica's Free Money Question of the Day. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Bill?
Oh, sorry. Not you, Jeff.
I'm sorry.
Good morning, Jeff. This is Hobica's Free Money
Good morning.
Free Money Question. It is worth $350. Comes from Joseph and Andrew Hobica, the Hobica Law Firm. 315-724-1600. You know the deal. You'll have 7 seconds to answer the question. Are you ready to go?
I am all ready.
Okay, Jeff. All right. Quick responses here. Here we go. Here is your question. On I love this show, The Pit. Holy crap. We went through 2 seasons of that. Man, if you haven't seen it yet, is it HBO Max? Check it out. It's really good. But here's your question. On the very first episode of ER, what holiday were they celebrating? Ready, go.
Well, I've never watched ER, so...
Pick one.
Labor Day.
Labor Day. Was it? That'd be kind of a Labor Day, a lot of babies being born. No. Anybody?
Was it Christmas Eve?
It was not Christmas. It was
New Year's Eve.
St. Patrick's Day. It was the first ever episode. Was a 2-hour special, and it was all St. Patrick's Day. So you can imagine they had a lot of drunk people coming in with accidents and all that. So, all right, Jeff, Davey, are we able to? Are we talking about the oil thing yet? Not yet. All right. Well, I'm going to give you Glenwood Movieplex tickets and Rome Cinema 8. And stand by, Jeff. You go to the movies if you'd like. Davey's going to hook you up, okay?
Well, thank you.
All right, Jeff. Thank you.
Yeah, before you cut me off, you wanted to share.
Go ahead.
I was going to share about you were talking about the ticks.
Yes.
So I am a hunter. Several years back, I had my wife did a tick check when I got home. So I already had a bullseye in my back.
Wow.
And so I had to be treated for it. And I also, where I live in Marcy, borders woods. So we're very conscious of ticks.
It's
over the course of years, had a few ticks. But
I think you gotta. I hate to say it, you gotta prep before you go out and do anything in the lawn or in the woods or whatever. And then you think about. I mean, I don't know. But I have on my lawnmower. I have where I try to grab the clippings. Usually, not all summer long, but at times during the summer, they go through the hose. And the hose has kind of sprung a leak. So now it's like a cloud of grass clippings behind me, and they're going up in the air, and I don't see it. But it's coming down on top of me. You tell me there's not a tick in that. There's got to be probably a tick or two in there.
I will say this, keeping the lawn shorter, usually means that your yard and your lawn is drier, and that helps with tick prevention. It doesn't completely eliminate the threat, but
remember we had a guy that had a thing where he rolled this thing behind his
roller.
tractor.
Yeah, he was trying to
and he was catching ticks, and he would do a roll through his yard and come up with like 70 ticks or something like that. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks.
Well,
thank
you.
Stand by, Jeff. Davey's going to take care of you. And be safe out there.
He was looking to patent that, right? He was
looking to patent it. He thought
invention.
it would be something cool for like baseball fields and And then, as long as we're talking about this, when you golf on that beautiful terrain that is just there's not a dandelion in sight. It's just the most precious, beautiful grass that is treated with the most precious, beautiful chemicals. You're just don't roll around in the greens, I guess I would tell you.
Yeah, but when you're out there, the ball's in the woods. That's where the ticks are
That's
waiting.
where the ticks are. Yeah. I'm
Better
the guy.
living through chemistry.
Yeah, that's exactly it. All right. In studio right now is Mayor of Newport, New York, Mark Butler. Mayor, good morning. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Bill. Ticks aside, I think the theme today is age and maturity.
Yes.
And
don't point at me. Don't drag me into your boat.
No. I want you to know I'm not the wild-eyed bomb thrower I used to be.
I like that.
I'm here to have a nice conversation and discussion.
And we even have already. It's wonderful.
Well, I know, but now's the time. Now's the time. I grew up on the West Canada Creek. I lived in Newport all my life. And I am convinced over the past decade there has been some change in the way the flow of the creek has been manipulated. Now, I went on the internet and looked up Hinkley Reservoir.
Do you think it's less?
Well, I think right now, and you see the canal, I mean, it's nothing. And I understand the primary
they fill
role.
The canal at some point.
The primary role of Hinkley Reservoir is a feeder for the canal.
Yeah.
I get it. And then there are other descending needs. There's the hydros, the recreation, the water supply for the city of Utica.
But do you think that has actually made the West Canada Creek less? The current is lower. The water levels are lower.
I think the fluctuations are greater from high to low. In the spring, there was on KTV, they had a chart, and I think several of the worst flooding conditions on the West Canada have occurred over the last decade. Now,
interesting.
Just maybe coincidentally, it could be weather, but in 2013, according to the records I got, they put in a new rule curve. They changed the way the water is managed. At about that time was when the Mohawk Valley Water Authority was created around that time.
Mm-hmm.
The Gray Reservoir, the dam was taken down. A lot of things happened around that time. And here we are 10 years later. Every spring we can almost count on flooding. I was in the parking lot.
And those extremes are what are causing
Yes, absolutely.
I want to say you're having a public hearing.
Yes.
When is that? Because we're going to talk on this on the other side. But for somebody who may be going into work right now, when is it and how can people show up?
On Wednesday the 6th at the Kayahura Community Hall in Newport, the representatives from the Canal Corporation have agreed to sit down with us. I want to just have a frank discussion because as I go around, everybody's got a different opinion on what's happened, why it's happened. I don't really know how the decisions are made, how that water is released. But I can tell you, I've stood on those banks and literally watched that water level rise in the spring. And it's a little bit scary. This last time, the Newport Telephone Company, they were sandbagging, preparing for the worst, and it came up all afternoon, and then suddenly about 5 o'clock stopped.
It stopped.
So somebody has some control over
certainly
it.
a lot of snow up north this year.
Yes.
But all right, we're going to talk.
But I think that's one of the questions. Who calculates that? How is it calculated?
Fair enough. Let's hit this on the other side of the news. So stand by for that.
Right.
I'm still itching from the TikTok. River Hills Properties continues to invest in upstate New York. If you're looking to lower your stress level while selling your home, River Hills can help. They have offices throughout upstate New York, including Barneville, Little Falls, Newport, and Rome, and in Sarasota, Florida now for the snowbirds. It's River Hills Properties. Nobody sells homes like River Hills.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Payne Insurance Studio, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Operation Epic Fury is a shameful American failure. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That is the message out today from Iran's supreme leader.
The written statement was read out on Iranian state TV. It quotes Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei as saying the only place Americans belong in the Persian Gulf is at the bottom of its waters. Iran's supreme leader adding that the bright future of the region will be one without America. He also promises to protect the Islamic Republic's nuclear and missile capabilities as a national asset.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. The statement comes the day after President Trump said,
"They've come a long way. The question is whether or not they're going to go far enough."
Warning them to, quote, get smart soon and agree to a deal that ends its nuclear weapons program.
Fox's Brian Yennis in Tel Aviv.
Axios reports the president is set to be briefed this morning on military options. Quote, CENTCOM has prepared a plan for a short and powerful wave of strikes on Iran, likely including infrastructure targets, in hopes of breaking the negotiating deadlock.
Now, oil prices are down a little this morning, but they've surged this week, and so is gas. The price at the pump up another 8 cents today. AAA's national average for regular $4.30 per gallon. That's up 19 cents since Monday. Now an update on the White House Correspondents' Dinner attack. Sources are telling Fox News the bullet that struck a Secret Service officer in his vest did come from the suspect's shotgun, not friendly fire. Cole Allen returns to court today for another hearing. He's charged with attempting to assassinate the president. They voted late last night in the House to approve a Senate process to fund immigration enforcement, getting around Democrats who've been holding up that money.
It allows congressional committees to start drafting legislation for it that could then be passed through the budget reconciliation process with no support needed from Democrats. The House is also sitting on a separate bill passed by the Senate last month to fund the rest of Homeland Security, and Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen warns money for those employees runs out next week.
That's Chris Foster. America's listening to Fox News.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250 micro to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
As the U.S. considers restarting the bombing in the Iran conflict, War Secretary Pete Hegseth will spar with more lawmakers this morning, defending the U.S. action and a big proposed increase in the military budget.
Often defiant during questioning from Democrats on the House Armed Services Committee, Secretary Pete Hegseth defended the war aims of Operation Epic Fury 2 months into the conflict.
I know the American people support that mission, despite your loose talk and words like quagmire.
Hegseth says military action will force the regime to make a better nuclear deal than any previous president has secured. The Pentagon's acting comptroller told lawmakers the war in Iran has so far cost about $25 billion. Hegseth returns to Capitol Hill today for a hearing with senators. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising up more than 200 points for the Dow ahead of a key report on the economy later this hour, expected to show more growth to start the year with a predicted increase in the GDP in the first quarter. But there is concern.
Inflation has moved up and is elevated, in part reflecting the recent increase in global energy prices.
Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, after the Fed decided not to cut interest rates again, there hasn't been a cut all year. Powell will be replaced as Fed chair when his term ends in May. In the NBA playoffs, the top top seed in the East avoids elimination. The Detroit Pistons beat Orlando 116-109, but the Magic still lead that series 3-2. Houston also stays alive, beating LA 99-93, forcing a Game 6 with the Lakers. The Cleveland Cavaliers beat Toronto 125-120 to go up 3-2. On the ice, double overtime drama.
Vegas off ice, an aggressive stance. Steal by Howden. Score!
Brett Howden won it for Vegas on TNT. The Golden Knights beat the Utah Mammoth 5-4 to go up 3-2. The Philadelphia Flyers also scored in OT to beat and eliminate the Pittsburgh Penguins. Montreal topped Tampa Bay 3-2 to go up 3-2 in the series. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Mostly cloudy skies and 45 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 8:05. This news update brought to you by Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. A Utica man facing several charges after a vehicle pursuit that left 2 police officers injured. Now, the incident began yesterday when 29-year-old Daniel Pacino-Brizeau stole a military-style vehicle that was parked on Oriskany Street. The vehicle was later spotted on West Street, but Pacino-Brizeau refused to pull over, triggering a police chase that ended with a crash on Genesee Street. The 2 officers suffered non-life-threatening injuries while trying to stop him. They have already been released from the hospital. It's going to be at least another few days before a new state budget is in place. Lawmakers approving an 8th budget extender yesterday that keeps New York running through May 4th. Legislative leaders said earlier this week progress is being made toward an agreement on spending, which had an original deadline of April 1st. No matter what happens, this would be the latest budget passed under Governor Kathy Hochul. 2 bronze veteran plaques were stolen from headstones at a cemetery on East Main Street in Verona. State police say the plaques were forcibly removed and are both historically and sentimentally significant. State police asking anyone with information to contact state police in Oneida. People who see bronze veterans plaques being sold online at scrap yards or elsewhere are also urged to report it. And 11 people were treated after inmates set several fires inside Marcy Correctional Facility on Sunday afternoon. The fires happened within about an hour of one another in a single cell block at the medium security prison. The first call came in around 3:20 when officers saw black heavy smoke. Inside one cell, a mattress and other items had been set on fire. An officer tried to put it out with an extinguisher, but crews had to switch to a hose to get it under control. Once the flames were out, staff opened a nearby recreation pen to clear the smoke and took the inmate to the infirmary. And then 2 more fires were set afterward. In total, 8 corrections officers and 3 members of the National Guard needed treatment at area hospitals for smoke inhalation. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time is 8:08. Your Weather Center forecast is brought to you by CSEA. Behind every traffic cone is a worker doing a job with a family waiting at home. Slow down, put the phone down, and move over safely.
Unseasonably chilly weather continues to spill on in. Maybe a little frosty tomorrow morning, and maybe for the Adirondacks, a few snowflakes, especially later in the weekend. Enough. 52 today, maybe a few showers around through about early afternoon. Some clouds tonight on the cold side, the mid-30s. Some of us will be in the low 30s, especially in the North Country where it might be even a little bit colder. Friday, a chance of a shower, partly sunny, otherwise near 50, and not much above 50 over the weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies, 45 degrees at 8:08. All right, in sports, tonight is Game 6 of the first-round series between the Knicks and the Hawks. New York is in Atlanta tonight. A win for the Knicks would send them into the second round. If Atlanta gets the victory, it would force a series-deciding Game 7 at MSG this weekend. Playoff action last night. The East top seed Detroit keeps their season alive as they beat the Magic 116-109. Elsewhere, the Cavaliers took a 3-2 series lead over the Toronto Raptors, and the Rockets forced a Game 6 against the LA Lakers. The Lakers led 3-0 in the series. That advantage is now down to 3-2. Action continues tonight, as I mentioned, Knicks and Hawks. Also, Celtics are in Philadelphia to take on the 76ers, and the T-Wolves host the Denver Nuggets. Playoff hockey. The Montreal Canadiens beat the Lightning 3-2 to take a 3-2 series lead. Cam York scored in overtime, giving the Flyers a 1-0 win over the Penguins. That sends Philly to round 2. The Vegas Golden Knights took down Utah 5-4 in double overtime to take a 3-2 series lead. Games tonight include Minnesota hosting Dallas and Anaheim in Edmonton to take on the Oilers. Football news. One of the most exhausting storylines in the NFL offseason continues. Steelers owner Art Rooney II joining NFL Network yesterday, where he expressed his confidence that Aaron Rodgers would return to quarterback his team in the upcoming season. He said the UFA tender, that was put on the 42-year-old quarterback earlier this week was done in the unlikely event that Rodgers goes elsewhere. He's still deciding on his playing future. Also, the Giants making a signing, adding to their defensive line. Veteran defensive tackle Shelby Harris signs a 1-year contract. This comes after the Giants traded Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals last week for the 10th overall pick in the draft. Mets lose again, blown out by the Nationals 14-2, the final there, and the Yankees drop the series finale to the Rangers, a final of 3-0. The Yankees have today off. They will open up a series against the Orioles at home starting tomorrow. The Mets will play their rubber match against the Nationals coming up later today.
So I want to ask, first of all, the new winner, he's a 2-time winner on Jeopardy after beating Jamie Ding, who had won 31 games in a row. I hate this guy.
Yeah.
Have you seen him?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Please end this guy's reign. He is a jerk.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like
another area of agreement.
I mean, this is him when a question is asked. It's like,
yeah. The computer takes a minute to kind of boot in.
I think he's got an earpiece in there.
Yeah.
Some people think he has an earpiece. Like he's waiting. Apparently the reception isn't right, so he's tilting his head a little bit.
He needs
and then all of a sudden he
5
pops
bars.
out the answer, and he'll do it in the form of a question. Is it Rhode Island? Yes.
I'm sorry, Bill. That's incorrect. Correct answer would be, what is Rhode Island?
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Very good point.
Also, one of our listeners, Mark.
I hate this guy.
Mark says, I see what Bill means about the guy on Jeopardy. He makes me nervous with all those weird faces.
I know. It's these faces. It's like, first of all, somebody get him some glasses so he doesn't have to squint.
Did you hear him complaining about that he can't dress himself?
Yeah,
I don't know if it's inside out or.
He's like, should I wear the blue shirt?
Yeah.
Should I wear the green shirt?
Oh, this guy.
What is the red shirt? That's what I'm going to go.
Correct answer.
Awful, awful, awful. I don't think I've ever watched that show and hated a contestant like I hate this guy. Like, okay. And it doesn't help, too, that the Jamie Ding, who had won 31 games, was such a nice, probably on the spectrum, such the most brilliant, nice guy in the world. And
well, you don't think this guy's got something going on?
He may.
I mean, there's like...
You're right. There's got to be
something going on.
Yes. And you combine that something with overconfidence, and that's what you get.
Yeah.
And then, how do we all feel? And we'll get back onto your topic.
Okay.
How do we all feel about this? Now, I, in my belief on the roads, it should be fair, right? Yes, if I were driving and I'm speeding, I think it should be catching me shouldn't be really, really easy. It should be competitive. This is a competition, and it shouldn't. On the thruway down in the Hudson Valley, 700 tickets were issued. Now, I'm a firm believer we have to be careful around construction zones, and that is a problem. But they loaded up a group of state troopers, dressed them up as construction workers.
Oh, yeah.
Put them on a construction vehicle where they were radaring, and they nailed 700 drivers.
Wow.
So
now,
on one hand, construction workers are in a dangerous spot and people have to slow down. But isn't the big sign that says speed recording enough to slow people down?
Apparently not.
But apparently not. So they did this and they nailed 700 people. Is it a money grab? Or what are you guys think?
It's a money grab.
Yeah.
No, I completely disagree. Go ahead and make your point, though. I'm sorry.
I got caught in, the 45, 55, and you're going 65 on the thruway, and,
all of a sudden it's 45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got me out around Rochester.
That's a bad ticket, too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, I'm sorry. I do have to say this. If you want to say that they're out there and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're doing 75 into 65 and there's nobody out on the road and they're just banging people who are going too fast, to me, that's a money grab. You have individuals, construction workers, and just as that billboard that I read said, they have family waiting at home. They're out there doing work to maintain and keep those roads safe. Slow the hell down.
Just that amplifying what I said before, it was on a Sunday and nobody was working.
Nobody
was in jeopardy.
I think that's a money grab then.
Yeah.
Yeah, why is that when no one's working? I mean, that's unfair.
I saw driving out to the Syracuse airport, and this was both going out and going back. Car pulled over to the shoulder on the side of the road. Its emergency lights are on. There was a state trooper in front of him, and he was nailing people for the move over rule.
Oh, so that was a setup.
That was a setup.
Wow. I mean, am I wrong to think it should be competitive? Like, it shouldn't be.
Well,
I got to tell you, driving on, for those in the Valley, you're driving on 5S, and it'll happen by the time we hit July. In that one median area in the town of Frankfort, just as you're getting out of Frankfort past the fairgrounds, there is that area where there's a no U-turn, and cops will sit in there often. And they allow the growth of this tall grass that gets up so high you can't see what's behind there. And man, there have been so many times I'm like, I could get a weed whacker and I could mow that crap right down.
Well, they'll give you a ticket for harboring a weed whacker.
I think that you'd be arrested. You'd be arrested for that probably.
I will tell you, when I was in the legislature, I discovered that 5S was constructed to standards to allow traffic to go 65 miles an hour.
And it's still 55.
With the wide things. And I talked to some folks, and they just didn't want to change it. Why not?
It remained that people don't realize that stretch, which is a straight line, basically, from Ilion to, at least from Ilion to Utica.
Yeah.
That's 55. It's 4 lanes.
4 lanes, wide side things.
Yep. That is 55. And let me tell you, it's nearing the speed limit. I've actually neared the speed limit in the number of tickets that I've gotten on that highway.
But no matter how fast you're going, somebody's always passing you.
That's the thing. There's always someone passing that apparently is smarter than me and knows when to slow down. So take it for what it is. All right.
Nobody's smarter than you.
Oh, thank you. All right. The public hearing you're doing in Newport on water, and it's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Yeah.
But let me first say, Jeff corrected me during the break. Water Authority, it was actually created in the mid-'90s when I was in the county legislature, so I was still involved with that whole process.
All right.
So, but going ahead, yes, it's Wednesday at the community center in Newport.
Kiohura.
Yeah, at 2:30. And I don't want to be confrontational.
Okay, I can't
as
imagine.
I said, I'm now mature. I'm a new man.
A new mature peacemaker is Mark Butler.
Thank you. You got the message. But I forgot when the Water Authority is because my old age
That's true,
memory's going. But
and
going
Pat
back
Badger is no longer there.
We got along at the end.
You did. I think you did.
Yeah. But as I said, I've got all kinds of different, and I understand the Canal Corporation's position. They've got a lot of competing. You have property owners on Hinckley who complain when that water level drops down.
If I remember, it was last year. It was very low.
It was, yes. And but on the other hand, and one of our problems in the Cuyahoga Valley, we got the most affected by this are 3 little communities of about 500 or 600 people.
Your
So
population is small.
So when you lay that against the big picture, we don't have much throw weight.
Right.
But I just think we need to get our thoughts in front of the Canal Corporation. Maybe there's some little tinkering, some little adjustment they can make. I thank them for being willing to come and speak
so
with us.
The Water Authority will be there.
I'm sorry, no, the Canal Corporation.
Oh, the Canal Corporation. Okay.
I think the Water Authority, that's incidental.
And the Canal Corporation determines.
Yes, they have the authority because, as I said, the canal feeder is their primary purpose and why it was originally built. But it operated, as I said, I've lived there my whole life. The dam was built in the early 1900s, 1915. In all those years, I mean, yes, there were fluctuations, but
Nothing
it
like
just
currently.
seems to be more dramatic over the last decade or so.
All right.
And something may have happened, and maybe some little readjustment or some tinkering could help, or maybe there are some suggestions in what we can do to better prepare for
this. There may be residents who want to tell their story.
Yes.
That, this has never happened, and now all of a sudden every year I'm having this problem.
Well, I stopped and talked to the gentleman that owns the campsite right outside of Poland, and he was literally under a lake. I mean, so how much money did he lose? This is a little bit of our economy is based on these campsites and people coming and going to the local restaurants, gas stations.
It is a beautiful creek.
Yeah. It's supposed to be one of the best trout streams in New York State.
But they say
when that water fluctuates like that, it affects it.
If you're on a kayak, when that happens, watch out.
Yeah.
Or even on a campsite.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of those along the way. All right. Thank you. You're welcome to hang. I know we have some Newport people coming in.
Okay.
I have to do a quick break. A lot to get to.
All right.
Colleen Maxwell is a Democratic candidate for the 118th. That is Robert Smullen's assembly seat. Quickly, you support Smullen?
Yes.
And
I definitely do.
Anthony Constantino, your thoughts?
I have not just the ads and seen him, but I don't ever see him addressing issues. He wants to take cheap shots at Bob. He isn't this, he wasn't that. I just don't buy it.
And for those,
what specifically is he going to do if he gets elected?
And for those,
whatever Trump tells him to do.
Yeah, right.
And for those, the assembly seat is your former assembly seat.
Right.
Okay.
And it's the biggest assembly district in the largest.
It's a large district.
All are parts of 5 counties.
Yeah,
so you really got to hustle. So I've heard the complaint, well, we never see Bob. Well, Bob, he's in Albany 2 or 3 days a week during their session, and then, you just live out of the trunk of your car for the rest of the week.
Plus, he's had some tragedy.
Yes, he has.
Horrific tragedy with his son.
One more thing. We were talking about Aaron Rodgers. Why don't they give him the number 86 when he goes out there?
That's right. 86.
Did you just call for the murder of an NFL
That was a
quarterback?
joke. That was a joke. Let me explain it.
He's a future Hall of Famer.
Is that why?
Deputy, arrest this man.
Is that why no NFL jerseys have the number 86? Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true.
No, it's not. Stand by. Hold tight at WIBX.
Advantage Gold, America's #1 precious metals company, is sounding the alarm that a storm is coming and that now is the time to diversify your portfolio before it's too late. That's why we're offering an emergency gold and silver protection kit valued at $49, absolutely free for anyone who calls today at 800-900-8000. This kit includes critical information for investors with a retirement account seeking to own physical gold and silver but want to do it tax and penalty free. Advantage Gold has helped investors protect and secure their wealth with physical gold and silver since 2014. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 and we'll rush your emergency gold and silver kit plus a free copy of Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. See how gold and silver can help you protect and secure your wealth with the help of Advantage Gold. Results vary. Consult your tax advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Little Falls Lumber has everything you need for home improvement season. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors. Available in 12-foot lengths and affordable solutions for sheds, garages, and roof repairs. Tired of digging through warped boards at the big box stores? At Little Falls Lumber, you'll find only premium grade lumber, hand-selected for quality. They also carry roofing, siding, windows, doors, and much more. Visit Little Falls Lumber in Little Falls in Syracuse. Call 315-823-2470 or go to littlefallslumber.com.
Don't rely on a standard off-the-shelf security system. When it comes to protecting your home, there's a big difference between plug and play and a professionally designed system. At CML Security, security is personal. Their skilled technicians meet with you one-on-one, walk your property, and design a custom system built around your family's needs. From security cameras, intrusion systems, and smart home features, they can also add a level of fire protection to their intrusion systems. They install commercial-grade equipment and provide a warranty on systems that they install. Call CML Security at 315-866-5845 today to schedule your in-home consultation. That's 315-866-5845 or visit cmlsecurity.net. Based in Herkimer, they serve the central New York area. CML Security. Call 315-866-5845. Personalized protection your family can trust.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The Memorial Day sale is on at Mattress Express, upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. Remember, no one has all the brands under one roof, and we're giving away prepaid gas cards with select king and queen sets up to $1,000. Hurry!
We promised you a first-class country music cruise, and the first sailing of Top Shelf Country Cruise delivered. The bar's set, and nothing less will do. In March 2027, we're setting sail on the luxurious Celebrity Summit, departing from Tampa, stopping in Bimini, Key West, and Cozumel. See performances by headliner Riley Green, Chris Young, Lauren Elena, Randy Houser, and more. Your favorite country stars will be on board. Will you be? Book any available cabin at TopShelfCountryCruise.com.
Registration is officially open for the 2026 Boilermaker Road Race. Get ready for the 49th annual running of this iconic event, Sunday, July 12th. Whether you're chasing a personal best or just soaking up the incredible energy, this is a race day event you don't want to miss. Secure your spot now and be a part of one of the most celebrated road races in the country. Sign up today and get your training underway. Be sure to listen to live coverage of the Boilermaker Road Race, Sunday morning, July 12th, beginning at 7 on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Hey, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. We spoke with Dr. Cheryl Mattern just the other day about one of the issues that is a problem at clinics and primary physicians throughout the area, where there are certain clinics that overbook and don't give the patients the time. Maybe it's only 10 minutes per patient, but overbook in a way where you have a 2 o'clock appointment and you don't get in until 3:30, 4 o'clock. Very difficult for people. They make it easy at the Falcon Clinic. You're in and you're out, but you have time with the physician. They set aside a half an hour for each appointment. And if it's your initial appointment, even longer. Dr. Cheryl Mattern, Dr. Kosminski, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemileski, all under one roof at the Falcon Clinic. And it is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. So there are things like the OMT, osteopathic manipulation treatment, which really gets everything flowing properly so your body is at its peak working condition so that you continue health. Can you talk to him over there? Shh. Just for a second. All right, thanks. It's the Falcon listen, I've got your mic turned off and everything, but you're clear as day in here. Nope, you weren't saying anything bad. Okay, good. The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. Call today, 315-507-4751.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Our locally owned and operated small businesses are the heartbeat of our community. The WIBX industry aces stand out as leaders in their fields, like Scharf Plumbing and Drain. The Scharf family has been providing plumbing and drain services to the Mohawk Valley for over a century, offering many services, including sewer repair, repiping, water heater repair, and replacement, and more. They're more than plumbers. They're a family dedicated to getting the job done. Support one of these fantastic industry aces today.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
I'm going to bring this up, and actually, because I know that Mark likes to talk during my live endorsements, I'm going to bring it up. You can come up to the microphone. The Good Feet Store. It's something you have used. Steve Spurbeck was on here the other day and said it has really changed his life. And listen, you can have a lot of pain.
The other day I was in the grocery store.
Thanks for that, Jeff. Thank you. I finally got his attention. Now you're starting up the conversation. The fact is, it's a 3-step system. They're inserts that go into your shoes, and you've used it as well, and it really does make a difference.
It really did make a difference
with the pain, and you just aren't walking correctly. So the Good Feet Store can help. You can walk in without an appointment. 4630 Commercial Drive in New Hartford. It is the Good Feet Store. Anything you want to add, Jeff? Anything? We're all good. Everybody's good. In studio,
not unless you've got something important to say.
I don't know if you noticed this, but Mark Butler is beginning to melt. He's sitting next to a Democrat. So, hello,
from Newport.
But she is from Newport, so that's
he's built up a tolerance. That's what he means by that.
Tolerance. Colleen Maxwell is a Democratic.
Now, just to let you know, he sat on my planning board. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We needed to restore some balance to that.
That's nice. Well, listen, at the end of the day, I think that politics tend to work, when it comes to Democrats and Republicans, politics tend to work so much better in your local communities.
Right.
Yeah. Where party isn't as important.
No.
It's more relationships and people. And certainly the Maxwell name is a big name in that. Listen, I was doing high school football and baseball games and basketball back in the 80s with WLFH, and the Maxwell name was a big name in sports back then.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So you are a Maxwell, Colleen Maxwell, running for the seat that is currently held by Robert Smullen.
Mm-hmm.
However, you are running as a Democrat. That will not be easy in this district.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
No, it won't. But I feel that in order to break this cycle of Republicans and Democrats against each other, we need to start at the local level.
Yeah.
Because at the local level, we know each other, and we know that we all want what's best for us.
Yeah.
And I think that it's more of an issue of what we need here in rural New York versus we have a heavy congregation coming up out of New York City.
So we're seeing. I know that many of the areas here, rural areas, have had a lot of people move from down there and up here.
Yes.
And a lot of times they try to get on. They work to get on the village boards and town boards, and attempt to make changes.
Yeah.
That style of life is different than up here.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
Yeah.
So when I first got a job, I was 20 years old, and I went into Washington, D.C., and I was working for a very high-powered law firm that did environmental law, worked for companies like Mobil, with the Rockefellers.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it was definitely different. But my father would always say, you can take a kid out of the country and they'll survive in the city, but you can't take somebody out of the city and they're going to survive in the country.
Yeah.
He says it's just not going to happen.
They usually shoot themselves in the foot, literally, when they try hunting.
Right.
Right. I'm afraid.
But we have different work ethics.
It is different.
So when I went in there, when I left there, the one woman that worked for me called and she says, well, they hired 2 people to take your place.
Wow.
Because, you did the work of 2 people.
Yeah.
But that's the difference between hiring somebody from the country and having somebody
How will
from the
you,
city.
if elected, how will you deal with, right now you have a Democratic majority.
Right.
In the Senate and in the Assembly.
Right.
And the governor is a Democrat.
Right.
And the budget is currently about to reach record delays here.
8 weeks,
at least
7
with Kathy Hochul.
How do you? This is the longest budget, the latest budget under Kathy Hochul.
How do you become that person that stands up and says, "No, we got to
enough.
Enough is enough."
Number one, I don't think that the legislature, they're not doing their job, so you don't pay them. With the budget's late, you don't pay them.
Right,
They're the ones
right.
that don't get paid.
That should be federal as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When our Congress was sitting out and letting everything fester in Washington, D.C., they shouldn't have been paid.
Well, with
they shouldn't have been. I don't care why they shouldn't have been paid.
The perfect picture was watching people in Congress flying home and walking by TSA members who are not being paid and they're
Correct.
going off on vacation.
Correct.
That's not
insulting.
a good picture. Yeah.
It's insulting.
Wasn't it Delta Airlines that said they got to go through the same line everybody
Correct.
else does?
Yeah,
God bless them.
Because there was
God
a fast track for congressional members.
Right.
So they stopped that, and I think that's a smart move.
Good for them.
And why should all of our elected positions have better benefits than the private positions? Why should they have a pension after 5 years? That doesn't happen in the private sector. Sorry, Mark, but I'm coming after you. Because
you were there long enough, right? You're good.
Oh, sure he was. He sat there since 1995. What? He's the one that's
He's
there
the one.
forever.
She's coming after you.
Sure.
Well, listen, I like that philosophy. We've heard it from others that by the time you get there, though, it's almost impossible to make change.
So I'll tell you this. I went into New York City, and I worked for a very large utility, and you're up against it when you're working for. I was a consultant, and they hired me to figure out whether or not they were being cheated on their scrap cables, and so you have to go in with a game plan. I've never worked for a utility. I've done scrap, but not utility scrap. I had to do a lot of research. I had to be on top of my game because now I'm going up against recyclers. That's the top of their game.
Yeah.
And I did. I won.
You've had some big jobs.
Yeah. So when I went in, they got just for their scrap cable alone $4 million more. And I did prove that they were getting cheated. And I did. They went to jail.
They're taking lines down, replacing lines, and you don't think about it, but that's just not garbage.
Oh no,
that's scrap metal with value.
Oh, a lot of value.
Yeah,
a lot of value.
Interesting. That's very. So it was being stolen. It was being stolen from them.
It's not being stolen. So a lot of times, and this is what people don't understand, is that it's the contracts themselves. So they're like, how do you know that we're being cheated? And I said, your contract. And they're like, you just looked at our contract and you know? And I'm like, sure. They bid 5 cents over number 1 copper. It's impossible because you were making them pay for all the expenses, the trucking, the bringing it to, and getting the copper out of the cable. So I said, how could they pay you 5? No, they bid high to win the bid. And then what they do is they have complete control over the value. In other words, how much copper or aluminum or steel is in the scrap. So they just say, oh, well, steel's 10 cents, copper's $3. We'll just say there's more steel in there than there's copper.
Interesting.
And so it's like, okay, so then I had to figure out a plan, and I actually devised a system, not just, go in there and prove it, but now they actually have my system for selling their scrap, so that now they can assure that they're getting, and they can monitor on a day-to-day basis on whether or not they're getting the correct price.
Do you have a primary?
No.
Okay, so you will be on the Democratic line.
I'm on the Democratic line, and I'm going for the independent line as well.
And going for an independent line.
Because I need to meet as many Republicans as possible.
Have you come up with your name yet?
Yes, Common Ground.
Common Ground. That makes sense.
As I've been telling you all along.
Is that an old Ed Hanna name of his?
Oh, really?
I think Common Ground. Wasn't it the name of some radio show?
Oh, well, that was the K Music. He owned K Music. Frank Becerra.
Oh, Frank Becerra is right. Common Ground.
Common Sense Radio.
But the other thing that I would tell people is that you to develop us as a tight-knit community, we need to come from the bottom up.
Yes.
And even in recycling and what I did with their scrap, I couldn't start at the top. Like, they thought I was just going to work with their high guys. And I'm like, no. Get me down into your forklift drivers. I need to go see the people that are pulling the cable. I need to see how it's being touched and how it's moving through your system so that I can devise a system that's going to work for you.
Wow. Good for you.
So you always do it from the bottom up.
Yes, and you want to use that
aggressive
approach
yes.
in Albany. I like it.
Yes.
Quickly.
As I've told you, you have to be extremely brilliant to be elected to the assembly, and she clearly demonstrates that.
All right, there's an endorsement from a fellow Republican or a Republican. Okay, very interesting. Colleen Maxwell, thank you so much, and good luck. We'll get you back in.
Okay.
Certainly, maybe a few times before we hit November.
Good.
A long way to November, but the minute the weather gets nice, it's gone. So it'll be October before you know it. Yeah. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Why don't we bring in the mayor and another mayor coming in here, folks? I don't know if we can do it, but we're going to do it.
All right.
I want to make your home look amazing and feel good about where your money is going. Then you need to check out the Made in America sale happening right now at New York Sash, where everything is 25% off. New York Sash, passionate about quality and supporting American jobs. All the products they install, including windows, baths, and doors, are 100% American made. And the timing could not be any better whatsoever, because the sale, you get 25% off everything right now. That's 25% off. New York Sash brand windows, beautiful, easy to clean acrylic bathroom systems, and stylish secure entry doors, all American made, 25% off. So get a free estimate today during their Made in America sale. Call New York Sash at 315-624-7344. That's 315-624-7344, or visit the showroom at Riskinny Boulevard in Whitesboro and online at newyorksash.com. In studio right now is the mayor of Ilion, John Stevens. John, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Holy man, full house here. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is Full House.
Mark quit melting, so
he's not melting anymore.
We have a card game starting at 9:15
almost
if you want to hang around.
I'll stay
for my mid-morning nap here. Come on, let's move it along.
We wanted to know about you had put out a release on what was going on at the former Remington facility. And
we still call it the Remington facility.
Remington, so, yeah. So there's a plan for something to go in there, but maybe a data center or
there is no plan.
But there is no plan.
There is no plan. That's everybody's got the cart way in front of the horse.
I find it very
crazy.
Very odd to have you've spent potentially all this money on this property, and you're saying we're working on what we will do there.
Correct.
Usually,
well, because of they're in the brownfield cleanup process. So right now their only goal now is to get it cleaned up.
Okay.
So that they then can start the developing of the property.
All right.
Now, has a data center been mentioned in their applications for funding? Yeah, but so have a dozen other ideas.
Right.
But, people pick up on what they want to pick up on. We know that.
A data center, electricity, water.
Let me address those.
Yeah.
Thanks for segueing that in because we work daily on the electric part, as most people know, or if they don't, they will now. If you're listening, we have our own municipal electric.
Yes.
It's rather inexpensive, best around.
A great selling point if you're a real estate agent. For
Absolutely,
Ilion.
or a developer.
Yeah, or a developer. Yeah.
So that load that is being requested for that property will completely be segregated from the load that we currently get for our folks. No different than was currently in place when Remington was running.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so people are all nerved up about, well, my electric rates will go up. Well, they won't, because we won't allow that to mix. It's going to be an apple and an orange.
They have their own water, right?
They have their own well system within the facility. That plant, their wells produce 2+ million gallons a day if they need it.
So you don't see a problem there.
We can provide them water, and legally we are obligated to provide them power and water as customers in our service area. But we are working diligently to make that not mix.
So what you're saying to people is hold your horses.
Slow down, relax.
Down.
Yeah, hold that horse up, because well, the horse has been held up. The cart's way. I'm pointing like people can see me. I don't know if they can or not, but
they can.
Okay,
you're on camera.
Right.
Let me ask you on did 2 trustees step down the other night?
Yes, we're in the process of handling that.
What happened?
Don't know. That's part of the process.
They just resigned.
Yes.
Were they on your side? Were they?
I don't think there was any side amongst the 5
they-
of us.
you know how it
We always
goes.
kind of worked very well together. Don't know yet.
So you don't know why they resigned?
No, not particularly. Do I have ideas? Yeah.
All right, well,
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna put an idea out there, because that's like somebody asking me, "What if?"
You mentioned you guys work well together. You didn't make a phone call. I don't know what were the names of the people?
It was Trustee Carrie Allen and Trustee Josh Kelly.
Hey, Carrie, what's going on?
I did call, and I have not received a return call.
Really?
Okay. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So could it be you? Are they?
It could be me. Yeah. I mean, I would never. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
See, Bill, as I've told you, you have to be extremely brilliant to be a mayor.
It's not easy.
I thought he said the legislature.
He did. That was when he was in the legislature.
Yeah. Funny how that works.
Yeah. All right. So we don't know why.
No, we're working on that.
All right. And I know Davey's working on getting them on the air to. Where does Ilion stand on the water issue? In terms of
the water project,
clean water project,
the main and valve replacement portion of this project is done. Now they're going to work on stuff at the treatment plant, which most people won't even see being done. There's some new technology. They call it green sand. They're the actual main and valve replacement portion of the project is completed. Matter of fact, next week we start paving. Streets that were damaged, or streets that were dug up, or we've got a rather large
and I know
paving
one of the
project
issues
coming up.
was you didn't want to pave until everything was done.
Absolutely,
and you're feeling
and we're
confident
doing
with
that. Yes.
And then are people still having brown water problems?
On occasion, yeah.
Okay.
But that's because the technology isn't completed yet.
Okay.
This project still has 2 or 3 more years to go.
Okay,
for
fair
completion.
enough. And back to the 2 trustees.
Mm-hmm.
You have village elections that are coming up.
Correct. June 16th.
No time to. I mean, will someone have to be appointed there, or a special
I don't
election?
know. That's part of the legal stuff we're working through,
Yeah.
because there's, as Mark knows, there's dates you have to make. There's a certain number of days. We're working through all that with the Board of Elections.
So you now have 3 members on the
3
Board
of
of
us, yeah.
Trustees.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Any other? I mean, you want to start grilling him as a fellow mayor, or nothing?
No. I have my own.
You have your own problems.
He got his own issues. See, we're all different sizes, but we all have the same problems.
And water is his concern as well.
His is up and down, though.
Speaking of water, though, is it my understanding that the Water Authority is negotiating with Ilion?
We've kind of reinvigorated, we being the Village of Ilion and 4 other municipalities. At one point, there was a big project coming down Route 5.
What are the? So it's Frankfurt, Mohawk.
It's Town of Schuyler, Village of Frankfurt, Village of Ilion, Town of Herkimer, and the Village of Herkimer.
Okay, so not Mohawk.
Not Mohawk, no.
Okay.
So
Or
we kind of
can-
reinvigorated that to see how that might help or hinder what we're the future.
All right. Okay. And then the dual fold. Somebody's asking about the dual fold.
Dual fold. That's still a valid project. The developer for that is waiting for the brownfield cleanup application to be approved. We did get a word from the state. Mr. Pizik, John at the IDA, showed me an email the other day at the the Brownfield Summit that the state had misplaced the paperwork and application. It was buried on somebody's desk, and I went, "Oh gosh,
That
we better
never
get on
happens.
that." You know.
By the way,
wasn't shocked.
for Ilion, when you think about it, and I grew up. My father worked at Remington and grew up in the Valley. And at Christmas time, there are hundreds. Like some places have these unique things. Like out in Niagara Falls, Christmas pictures always are on a pony. I don't know. It's some weird thing out there, but it's out there. Here, I don't know, Utica area. What pictures at Christmas time? In Herkimer County, in the Valley, you had the long one-piece red suit. Duofold. What
Union
did they call
suits,
that?
we call them.
Union
Union
suits.
suits, yep.
Which was basically warm,
Long underwear with a
long
flap.
underwear, and it had the feet. It had the whole, and it had the flap.
Had the flap.
And you'd be holding a shotgun from Remington. So there you go. There's your
Nothing
Christmas.
says Christmas like a 12 gauge.
Shotgun and
Nothing
Union.
screams hillbilly like that, right?
That will take your eye out.
Yeah, they're from Herkimer County. All right. Anything else you want to add?
No, we're rocking and rolling. We're busy every day. So, like I said, paving's coming up.
Do you have a challenge coming up? Are you up for election here?
Yes.
And is it David Murray? Is he running against you?
He says he is. He hasn't put anything in as far as making that.
All right.
legal
And,
yet. My petitions have been in and accepted.
And when is election day for
June
Ilion?
16th.
It is coming up, and he hasn't put anything in yet.
I think he's running an independent, so
Okay.
that's not due until the end of May. I think.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I don't keep track of that side.
So
I got
that's
enough of my
coming.
own dates I got to worry about.
Do you have any other people running against you?
Not that I'm aware of.
You sure it's not the two that just resigned?
Not that I'm aware
Okay. Just checking. Go ahead,
You're
Tim.
digging.
So I had a question about Remington and power. So you guys provided power to Remington when they were up and running, right? Or was that a total separate thing?
No, we got them onto municipal power in 2010 for the first time in
And
history.
they had a steam plant.
Correct,
up
but
there,
that
didn't
wasn't
they?
power.
That wasn't power.
So
Okay.
when that power, now that power's all gone, and it's gone back to the general public, does that help you?
It didn't go back to the general public. It was a separate.
So does it
we
just
lost
sit
that,
there?
No, we've lost that allotment. That allotment goes away this May. It'll go back into the grid to the other municipalities that gave up a portion of their hydro so that we could bring Remington on board. As you guys can see, this is a big convoluted process that took a couple of years to do.
Well, that was one of the attractions. One of the nuggets that you'd give Ilion, you give Remington, is to keep them.
So
they got very inexpensive power.
So if you lose it, I'm assuming the ability to get it back has got to be a pretty convoluted process as well.
No, because it's a separate entity.
So
we're
they
asking
can-
for a completely separate source of power for the
If they decide
facility.
they want to have an AI data center.
Yeah, but that process all has to go through planning, zoning, all that. I mean, that could be 10 years down the road.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know.
And I would ask you too, on one of the worries of Remington closing down, which it now has, is the village of Ilion and nearby communities as well, losing that tax base. The school district,
correct,
which had recently merged 12, 13 years ago.
Gosh,
But
it's been
now
that long already.
maybe it hasn't, but
I think it has.
We're nearing that time where the extra state aid is going to start to run out. You no
Correct.
longer have that Remington tax base.
Correct.
Are you beginning to worry about the stress?
Well, we, overall, and
not that they were paying their taxes at the end anyway.
But they did.
Okay.
They did.
In the end.
The village operates under 4 different budgets. We have our general budget, which is police, fire, DPW, all that stuff. The electric budget, the water budget, and then we have a small library budget that we still contribute to. So across all 4 of those funds, we lost between $900,000 and $1 million in tax and utility revenues. Taxes, they paid just under $200,000 a year in taxes to the village. We lost about $700,000 a year in electric utility usage, and water wasn't a big usage, so maybe between $35,000 and $50,000 for that. The library didn't lose anything because that's gone to the school district now. We still contribute a little bit. So overall, we feel it. We've got to make up that. I'll use $200,000 because it's easier to math.
Yeah.
So we've got to figure that out because that right there is a 4% tax increase right off the bat that you're looking to make up. $50,000 is a 1%. And you know what I'm saying, Mark.
I know exactly what you're saying.
But then when you get to the utility side, the village is allowed by the Public Service Commission to utilize so much of the profits of the utilities. And electric is the only one that's regulated. So we can use up to a certain amount. We haven't used anything in the last 3 years because there's nothing there to use. So
I lived in Ilion, and I have to tell you, Municipal Power, Mohawk, Frankfurt, Ilion, each have that, and it was unbelievable. Now there were limits. Electric heat was
if you
really,
exceeded a certain amount of
there was a threshold in the wintertime, so that kind of dissuaded people from using electric heat. However, summertime, I mean, your electric bill.
I just got my electric bill for last month. It was $90.
$90.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, and it's still winter.
Yeah, and that's with the current increases on the winter
$90.
The winter schedule. Yep. I think that my neighbor that lived next to us, her electric bill was like $60.
Yeah. Now, ironically, I got my light bill at the same time, and my water bill at the same time as my light bill. My water bill was $67, and my electric bill was $90. I mean, there's an ad. We all know we've all listened to the complaining that that's including the $30 surcharge that we have on there for the $38 million water project we did that people seem to think was free.
I would think, though, that is a small price to pay for the most important thing in the value of your property, and that's good, solid, clean water.
Yep. Clean being the difficult part at this point.
Yeah.
We know we have issues that, you use something. We opened a hydrant the other day for a water main break, and people on the hill, it was downtown, people on the hill had discolored water.
Yeah.
We know that's going to happen for now.
All right. Okay, interesting stuff. Thank you.
Always. Thank you for having me.
Good luck.
Don't mind. Thanks.
You're always good at taking. I'm still curious about those two trustees.
Well, as am I.
And you are as well.
As am I. Yes.
Maybe we'll talk again next week. So
okay.
We'll find out.
Deal.
With elections coming up, it's going to be pretty important. All right, a couple things I want to hit before we get out of here.
Good to see you, Mayor.
Right now, it's Steve Ponte Mazda. They wind down their New Year, New Mazda sales event. They have 23 new 2025 Mazda CX-5s in stock. Take advantage of 1.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-5s with 0.9% APR financing. Turbo models get that 0.9%. See the dealership for details. Let's make your deal on a Mazda. That's his statement where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. I'm going to ask you any comments. You're snickering over there like there's something going down.
No, okay, so let's see. Make Remington into a water park.
Or a NASCAR. Remember, that was the big thing for Griffiths. Everybody wanted to be NASCAR.
Jawick says here, and I don't know what it's referring to. It's like WWE. They turn up the mic and use a hype guy. I don't know what he's talking about here.
Okay.
But
making his way to the microphone.
Go ahead.
Sometimes I do wonder if these people who listen on YouTube, if they listen because they like us or if they listen because they hate us. I'm not really sure yet. I don't think the jury.
I'm sure.
The jury's out.
They love to hate.
There's a love to hate. Well, thank you. Mark Butler.
Well, one final thought, and of course losing Remington was a tragedy, but what always burns me is the museum. All the historical artifacts. They just cleared them out. What the heck do they care about those in Alabama? That's our history.
We're not going to make
it should have been left there, and that really drives me crazy.
We had a definite discussion with the owner of Remington on that very issue. Man to man, he assured me that there was still items left in the area to have a museum. I've yet to see him, and I've yet to get a return call from him on that. But
quick story: my father worked at Remington for years. John, stand by. I'm going to be right with you. Okay, we're going to squeeze you in.
All right, thanks, Bill.
My father worked at Remington for years. Through the legislature, he's on the legislature. Was walking through and taking a tour of the cleanup, and everything had been torn out of the Remington Arms facility. He picked something up inside the museum and found his name tag. His name tag.
That's ironic right there. That's almost creepy.
It's crazy, right? It gives me chills when I think about it. John Decker is the chief White House correspondent with Gray TV. I know he's been tight on time, but John, 30 straight correspondence dinners for you.
And this was the most memorable for sure.
So tell us in 90 seconds what it was like. It had to be something.
Yeah, I've told this story many times, so I can tell it pretty quickly. Our table was, as you enter into the ballroom, right in the center, 2 tables from the double doors that you use to enter into the ballroom. After I finished my salad appetizer is when I heard 5 pops, pop, 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 and I knew it was gunshots. There was no doubt in my mind, and I see a swarm of Secret Service agents coming in to protect all those VIPs that were throughout the entire ballroom. My cameraman and I, we didn't go under the table. We got to work. We actually were shooting a lot of this taking place. I was directing him where to point his iPhone because I'm familiar with all the VIPs in there, where they're sitting. And so all of that taking place in the immediate aftermath of that shooting. And also, in addition to that, I went out a double door that wasn't guarded by the Secret Service. I was curious, and I went up the stairwell, and I saw that suspect down on the ground surrounded by the Secret Service.
And we are, I hate to say this, we're out of time. We'll do it again next week, but what a story, John. Thank you.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica. From the WB Payne Insurance Studio, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
The head of U.S. Central Command will head to the White House today. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. As President Trump insists Iran has not come far enough in the negotiations.
At this moment, there will never be a deal unless they agree that there will be no nuclear weapons.
And Fox's Jackie Heinrich reports.
Today, President Trump will be briefed on possible military plans by CENTCOM commander. According to reports, though, he has already expressed a preference for an extended naval blockade, saying it is more effective at degrading what's left of the Iranian regime and also reducing its revenue generators like its oil.
But Iran's supreme leader's defiant. In a statement read on state TV today, calling the U.S. military operation a shameful failure, vowing to protect Iran's nuclear and missile capabilities. Oil prices are down now, but they've surged this week, and so is the price at the gas pump, up 8 more cents today. AAA's national average for regular at $4.30 per gallon. A new report just out shows inflation rose last month at the fastest pace in nearly 3 years, but the economy's gotten stronger.
The gross domestic product rose 2% in the first quarter, bouncing back from a weak 0.5% annual increase at the end of last year.
Fox's Ginny Casola. Cole Allen returns to court in 2 hours, the suspect in the White House Correspondents' Dinner attack, for a detention hearing. As sources tell Fox, a shot he fired did hit a Secret Service officer who was spared by his bulletproof vest.
Investigators argue Allen planned extensively for this attack, checking the president's schedule online and watching live coverage of the dinner before storming past a security checkpoint. The Justice Department says a Secret Service officer saw Allen fire the shotgun in the direction of the stairs leading to the ballroom before he was arrested.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. The House has voted to reauthorize a controversial foreign surveillance program considered key for national security ahead of an expiration at midnight. The House also approved a budget blueprint to fund immigration enforcement using a process Democrats can't block. America's listening to Fox News.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought